Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh, no, you can't disguise. No, you can't disguise. Tell me lies. Tell me when I'm telling lies, Roman. Tell me when I'm telling lies, Roman. Oh, my God. I loved, it's kind of like what Roman Reigns said about CM Punk. You were telling the truth about everything until the very end. I loved everything about that segment until the very end. After everything with all the brawling and pissing off the Usos and throwing shade at Sika and all, I mean, even the beautiful production piece that Roman Reigns opened up with. You know, I'm Roman Reigns and I approve this message. And after all of that, CM Punk is having humble pie, almost convincing himself to cry a little bit. I don't know. I mean, let me put it this way. Somebody better turn big time heel that at the end of night 2. Something really, really swervy has to happen because we can't have this tease of mutual respect. You know, I hate you because I worked my ass off and you had everything handed to you, but you worked your ass off to have that 1,316 days of, listen, this is all in my mind right now. I don't know if it's an accurate number, but, and then Roman's like, I hate you. And I hate you because everybody cheered your name for 10 years when you weren't here. That sounds like Seth Rollins. That sounds like half the people that feuded with CM Punk over the years. That's what Drew McIntyre said. You know, it just, at the end of all of this, to hate someone, but not necessarily because you hate them, but because of alternative things. You know, you did this and you were handed this and you worked hard for this and they cheered your name and that. No, I hate you because you're an asshole. You're a dick. You're a poison for this business. You should not be here. That's kind of how this has been built. And to have this, it felt like mutual respect at the end. And I don't know if that's actually what we wanted. But, you know, look, it is what it is. At least we don't have Kai Cenat. At least we don't have Iyo Speed. At least we don't have Jelly Roll, Jelly Donut, fucking a football player, you know, a former baseball player, Stephen A. Smith. As long as we don't have any of that in night 2 of the main event, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Will these guys put on a performance? Absolutely. Will CM Punk prevail? Well, we'll do predictions probably Wednesday night. I want to welcome everyone to the Don Tony Show. It is Monday night. Was it the 13th? Yes, it's the 13th of April. We got some news to get into. We got some discussion to get into as far as Raw tonight. Still no official word on Iyo Sky versus Asuka. And we actually do have a little bit of an update, which is really not an update, but it's kind of like re-emphasizing something that we talked before. But I just want to let everybody know, I reached out to Joey924 this afternoon to see if he wanted to record WrestleMania predictions with yours truly Wednesday night. I have not heard from him as of yet. So once I hear from him or I don't hear from him, I will let everybody know. But one way or the other, WrestleMania predictions will be done Wednesday night. Don't know exactly what time yet because my mom is going in for the heart valve replacement surgery. And that's not going to probably happen until, you know, late morning, early afternoon. I expect to have some good fucking news coming out of that. As long as I know that the surgery was a success and she's stable, yeah, we could talk a little WrestleMania Wednesday night. But if there's complications, then obviously may have to wait till Thursday. Family comes first, obviously. But we have some interesting stuff to get into. The WrestleMania odds, the official betting odds are in. And I'm kind of surprised at some of the odds. I think some of you will be surprised too. I will tell you, our predictions for the match order at WrestleMania, we may actually bat 1,000 with that because they officially announced today. We already knew the 2 pre-show matches for hour 1 for each night, but now we learned that the 6-man tag for the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision and IShow Speed will open night 1. And as we were talking about last night, Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi will be the opening match for night 2. I know, guys, I don't have a... Listen, it wasn't that long ago that people used to get angry. You remember, oh my God, I can't believe that person is the curtain jerker. Remember those days that people would really bitch? Like, wow, they're not even taking that person seriously. They open up the show. Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi is a match that I would like to wait 2 hours to see. I would like to be able to go through night 2 of WrestleMania and get more and more amped up for, holy shit, I can't wait for this match. Give me it now, but you don't give it right away. You tease it, you want it more, and then you finally get it. It's pretty obvious that they have to put that to open because they want the ESPN sports people that do not subscribe to ESPN to, get so into Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar that, hey, I got to check out the rest of WrestleMania. Let me sign up to ESPN. Even if I have ESPN Basic, all I got to do is hit a couple of buttons and I could upgrade to the big time subscription. That's what ESPN is doing here. If WWE was on Netflix, if it was on Peacock, I don't think Brock and Oba necessarily would have been the opening match, even though Brock tends to like having opening matches. But that match is going to be first on Sunday night. So I'm a little disappointed. Expected this, yes, but I am disappointed. It kind of gives me the same vibe of when they took out Braun Breaker in the Royal Rumble. I honestly thought he had a legit shot at winning it, and it would have been fun to watch 60 minutes of the Royal Rumble and just to have it build. And I say to myself, holy shit, I think he can get it. Holy shit, I think Braun could win it. Man, I think Braun could win it. He's down to the Final 4. I think he could win it, even if he didn't win it. But to have him get taken out before the match officially starts, it's like, well, that air was popped out of the balloon, for the rest of the night. And it kind of just, it definitely turned the Royal Rumble down a few notches for yours truly. But we got some news to get into. We definitely have some news to get into. I wanted to put this out there early on because it's something that we've been having fun with. And, I have obviously family in Italy and, also some people that support the show live in Italy too. And we've been having some fun about the Clash in Paris VIP packages they were offering. And yes, the SummerSlam VIP packages, some of them were released today by On Location. We'll get into that in a little bit because I think some people out there don't think sometimes before they talk. Comparing the VIP packages, I mean, compare it absolutely. But to try to make it seem like TKO is starting to listen and they're dropping the VIP package prices. The people that said that, even if they're friends of mine, you're clueless. You're clueless. Because WWE, with the exception of Hogan's WrestleMania package from last year, rest in peace, Hulk, but very few VIP packages did not sell out. Cody's fucking bus trip went from 3,000 to 10,000. It sold out. Liv Morgan with Madison Square Garden sold out in 2 days. These VIP packages are for people out there that just have too much money and can't run a promotion on TBS or TNT. Doesn't have a family and decides, you know what, let me drop 20 grand and let me do this. So, and I'm not throwing a shot at Tony Khan. I'm just making a point that some people have so much fucking money, they don't know what to do with it. That's what these packages are for. But to turn around and try to make it seem like TKO is listening, what are you talking about? These VIP packages sell out. This is not for the everyday fan, but we will school them a little bit in a few. But I did want to share this with you. If you remember the $13,000 package, I know a lot of people focus on the 11.5, but the 11.5, even though you get a ringside ticket, you're on the side. You're not on the camera side. You're down the rampway. If you want to sit ringside, camera side, that's $13,000, not 11.5. And part of the package is not only sitting front row, not only getting a chair, not only getting a collectible merchandise, take a picture next to the ring, but you also get to drink wine with some WWE stars, and a WWE star makes pasta. Now, I don't think anybody in Italy truly needs a WWE superstar to make pasta, but it sounds like fun. And for a while, we were told that Liv Morgan was the choice. Well, that has changed. That has changed. In Italy right now, they are advertising, and yes, I will show it to you. They are advertising Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree is the one who will be making the pasta for the $13,000 club. And it hit me like this. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me so hard that my gray Dogfather hat turned black. And that was not planned. I just happen to have two hats over here. But it hit me like a ton of bricks. Maxine Dupree makes pasta dinners. She's posted on TikTok videos. And if you need a little refresher of what Maxine Dupree does, I will tell you this. I hope to God she doesn't think that Italians want this in Italy.
Make dinner with me, starting off with a little Health Aid kombucha. That one tastes so good. Okay, this is my healthy pasta night. So I do a bunch of veggies, whatever I'm in the mood for. Tonight I'm doing zucchini, mushroom, tomato. Then I just season it with olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I let that simmer and mix up for a long time while I chop up some chicken apple sausage, which is my most favorite. Okay, and then this carbone sauce, you guys, ever since going to Carbone, I'm literally in love. And then for my noodles, I use the Heart of Palms, like, little linguine, because it's like 60 calories for the whole thing, and then I can devour this. Okay, that's all. Yum. Bye.
Hearts of Palm. Hearts of Palm. I ate that shit when I was on keto. She fucking whips out a bag of Hearts of Palm. She's going to get fists to the face. Hearts of Palm. Ugh. Oh, that's so bad, man. That's so bad. But hey, some people out there probably pay for it. So Maxine Dupree. I call her now Maxine Lupini Dupree. If anybody's ever had lupini pasta, that's actually pretty good on keto. So, all right. Did I think we were going to open up with Maxine Dupree and her fucking pasta? No, but I wanted to share with you. What did you all think of the Liv Morgan music video? What did you think of the music video? Obviously there was a lot of people that did not know. We were teased. Before this. Do you remember last week? We thought that this might be her WrestleMania entrance. Well, now I'm hearing that they may actually do a WrestleMania entrance that plays off of this music video. This was the teaser from last week's Raw. If it looks somewhat familiar for some of you guys, some people pointed it out, that Liv Morgan's music video was probably inspired by the Pussycat Dolls buttons. My buttons. I never heard. I don't even know what I did. Let me put it this way. I am so not a fan of the Pussycat Dolls that I would not click on the video to see where the correlation was. I'm like, no, I'll get a Google image and that's it. I do not need in my head that fucking song playing in my head again after years ago. My buttons. No. Listen, it's interesting. I'm not going to say that it's going to win any awards, but let me just say it like this. Liv Morgan is very nasal. And yes, in the world of music production, there's auto-tune. They can make somebody who's on the electric chair screaming in agony sound like they're singing. I'm telling you, you can take someone and be like, and then somehow make it sound fucking awesome. I'm not saying that she's that bad. All I'm saying is, for someone out there that hasn't, as far as I know, taken professional music lessons, for someone out there who is a professional wrestler that actually put that much work into it, I give him credit. I honestly do. I mean, it's no Jimmy Hart, but it certainly ain't Land of a Thousand Dances either. All right. This is certainly not even Road Warrior Animal rapping on the AWA music video from 40 plus years ago. If you never saw that, go look it up. It's not bad. It's not bad. today I saw people micro-analyzing this. And Ringside News, seriously, I don't wish physical harm on anyone, but, you know, if I learned that you went to the zoo and got eaten by a lion, no matter who works for that website, I probably would smile. I probably would watch The Lion King, which I vowed in my lifetime I'd never watch. In fact, every time I see JC Mateo now, I get a Lion King vibe to it, like JC Mateo. These motherfuckers, when they titled it, they're like, Liv Morgan debuts music video with arson. And this, I'm like, oh, I want to use a certain word that rhymes. I can't even say the word that rhymes it because I'll get canceled off the net. My God, no, I don't think any of them have ever gotten laid. I don't even think they ever put their penis in a empty toilet paper roll. Fuck is wrong with you people? Seriously. She debuted a music video called Trouble. All right, and they're like, go look at the news articles in the title with arson and this. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. You're the same jerk-offs that posted the tertiary shit about Rhea Ripley and why her muscle definition changed and everything. These people don't deserve. They don't even deserve to have plastic blow-up dolls in their house. Seriously, I hate people like that. Will I watch the music video again if it pops up on my TV and I'm too lazy to get the remote? Yeah. But outside of that, no, I'm not going to watch it again. You know, it was okay. Like, I commend her for putting that kind of work. All right. How many of you out there unfortunately watch something and the remote is like 20 feet away and all you got to do is just get up out of bed and just grab the remote and change the fuck out? How many of you out there fell asleep late at night and you have YouTube playing in the background? And as you fall asleep, YouTube puts up a recommendation. And then all of a sudden, it's Eric Bischoff talking about WCW for the 817,000th time. And you're hearing it in your ears while you're sleeping. And you're half asleep and half awake, and you start dreaming about Eric Bischoff. And then you wake up, you're like, oh no, please, not on my TV. But the remote is literally in eye distance, and you don't get up and change it. And you literally just sit there and wait for it to change. And then what happens? What's the next fucking video that comes up? Another Bischoff video. I said another one. It's a nightmare. It happens once in a while. Don't fall into that trap. Don't watch a video of something that you don't want to see because suddenly YouTube will think you're a massive fan of it. Ooh, no. I don't turn off autoplay on YouTube because I want shit playing in the background. For me at night, it's Forensic Files. Even though I've watched those episodes 8,000 times in my lifetime, that guy's voice is very soothing. Like, even in tragedy, it's very soothing. I don't know if any of you out there fall asleep. When I used to watch the LMN network or whatever it was, they used to have the montage of Forensic Files all night long, and I would fall asleep to it. And I would wake up and Forensic Files would be on the TV. But there's only so many times you could see the same episodes over and over again. You literally watch it so much that you could literally lip sync it. You could lip sync word for word everything that's on there. So, listen, Liv Morgan's music video wasn't that bad. All right, I think people were just over-analyzing today, to be honest with you. It's called Trouble. That's the name of the song. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, police invade the scene. Battered and bloodied. Arson. Oh, my God. What kind of music video they wanted? Throw your hands in the air and wave them just like you just don't care. And if just like me with dirty underwear, everybody say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get the fuck out of here. My God. All right. Should we talk about Raw a little bit? How awesome was Oba Femi tonight? Oh, man. I saw somebody post this right before we went live as a super chat. Who said this? I got to give him credit. And by the way, we do have an update on Alberto El Patron. I'll get into that in a moment. Tommy D says that he thinks Paul Heyman is already practicing his Oba Femi introductions. He absolutely will manage Oba Femi in the future. Yeah, I could see it. I absolutely could see Paul Heyman managing Oba Femi. I mean, already in my mind, I'm trying to figure out how Paul Heyman will say it. Oba Femi. You know, like, it's just like Barack Oba. Like, I could see it. Oba Femi, I tell you, of course, these commentators always overhype shit. Every year, it's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest ever. Greatest thing ever. This person's this, person's that. But Michael Cole said something on Raw tonight that I really had a hard time disagreeing with. He said that he can't remember the last time that someone had this much confidence, you know, as far as facing Brock Lesnar, like this fast, this much confidence. And that's something that Oba Femi, you know, definitely shows. There is a confidence there, and there's an aura about him. And that doesn't mean that wrestlers in the past didn't say they were going to kick Brock Lesnar's ass or went face-to-face with him. You know, I remember the Samoa Joe confrontation, the Braun Strowman stuff, you know, Goldberg to an extent, even though that turned out to be a fiasco. There's been people that have gone toe-to-toe with Brock Lesnar and act like they're not intimidated. This feels different, though. I mean, Oba is just fucking confident. It's interesting to hear him with the Nigerian accent because eventually that's going to be a Kofi Kingston thing. I don't know if it'll be Triple H that'll do it, but someone in the back, you know, is going to be like, what happened to your accent? I mean, that'll happen probably years from now. But man, I watched that. Paul Heyman keeps calling it the true main event of WrestleMania. I wouldn't say that it should close any night, but that is probably one of the most matches, the biggest matches I'm looking forward to. Seriously, in my top maybe 4 of matches I want to see, I think my first on my list is CM Punk and Roman Reigns, because I'm very intrigued at the outcome and what happens afterwards. I'm very intrigued in Liv Morgan and Stephanie McAfee. I want to see the Demon Finn Balor return. And as we said yesterday, if the Demon loses, he might as well show up on Raw following night or 2 nights later with a garbage can, fucking do what he did with like Goldust back in the late 90s. Just throw everything in the bin, set it on fire, and the Demon is dead. The Demon, the last time we saw him, fell off the fucking top rope fighting Roman Reigns. You cannot have the Demon blunder 2 times in a row. And Brock Lesnar, Oba Femi. Those matches I'm probably looking forward to more than anything else. I enjoyed that segment, and it's really hard to criticize Oba in any way, shape, or form right now. I absolutely enjoyed it. Todd Pelkey, we are going to talk about Raw right now, so I'll give you a quick rundown of everything that happened, and I appreciate that very much. Jonathan Contrez says, after Punk's promo, and he apologized about Sika, maybe the Usos sympathizing with what he said and feel some type of way with Roman. Trust me when I tell you, whether I do predictions with Joey or not, one of the discussions I am having is the possibility of the Usos somehow aligning with CM Punk and turning on Roman Reigns. That is something that has been echoed by quite a few people out there. I'm not so sure yet, but I personally, listen, this is my honest take about the whole Sika Uso situation. CM Punk had no issue with Jey Uso prior to this, all right? They had no issue, all right? They made it an issue to try to intensify the feud with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. If CM Punk and Roman Reigns were not facing off at WrestleMania, all this secret conversation would have never came up, and the dissension, the friction. Because remember, also, LA Knight and Jey Uso, they teased a lot of dissension a while back. You know, remember he called them, you know, wannabe Roman and all this stuff? They've been trying to tease this for a while. But with CM Punk, it felt extremely forced because Punk and Jey were tight for so long. So I think this was done to intensify the feud. Now we're here, and it's like, We don't want CM Punk and Jey Uso to be that angry with each other after Mania. How do we turn it down a notch? Oh, he'll finally apologize to Sika. Why wouldn't you do that after Mania? What happened to CM Punk saying, I'm in Roman's head? I'm in Roman's head. You think of the whole psychological storyline of this, the aspect of this storyline. What did CM Punk say for weeks? Roman, I'm in your head. Roman, and I'm in your head. You can't sleep without thinking about me. Roman, I'm in your head. I'm just mind games. I'm in your head. Now, what does he do? He clears fucking Roman's head right before the match. Idiot. Moron. It's not his fault. This is WWE creative to doing that. Why would you do that? So this feels like, okay, now WrestleMania is going to be over with. We got to calm the waters down. And listen, if the Usos don't turn on Roman after Mania or at Mania, and they don't align, so to speak, with CM Punk as heels, I could see a backstage segment. Monday, the following Monday, a month now from Monday, where Jay bumps into Punk in the back. Oos, I heard what you said about Sika. Oos, thank you. I could see that. We're still tight. Yeah, oos. And then what do? You have a Creed brother come in. Oh, look, they're back together. And then CM Punk and Jey Uso will defeat the Creeds. They'll probably do something stupid like that. That shit really did hurt. Really did. Yeah, so that's what I think about the whole Uso stuff and everything. Jim Kahn says that Gunther should be a Paul Heyman guy. Hey, listen, I'm extremely disappointed at so many people out there that did not pick up what we talked about yesterday on the History Show about Gunther and Ariel Helwani. Because a year ago, Gunther told Ariel Helwani that he wants to fight Seth, but he wants to fight him on a bigger platform. Basically saying, I want to fight Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Tonight, we got somewhat of an explanation, and it is the most generic explanation in the world. I want to beat you because I don't think you can lace my boots. Hey, Gunther, tell me who could lace your boots. Oh, Kenta Kobashi. Oh, no, Bret Hart. All the people that he can't face right now. Like, Gunther feels that nobody could lace his boots. So he could use that fucking line on everyone. He could use it on Jey Uso. He could use it on CM Punk. He could use it on Seth Rollins. He could use it on Danhausen. He could use it on Ludwig Kaiser. He could use it on anybody he wants. So it sounds very generic. But Gunther and Seth Rollins wanted to face each other for a while now. And they're getting the opportunity to do it. Yes, it just feels random. But you go back a year and listen to Gunther talk to Ariel Helwani, you think to yourself, okay, this is something that Gunther's been wanting for a while and Seth Rollins has been wanting for a while as well. I'm very disappointed at some of the more knowledgeable people out there that are still saying, it still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. They don't even remember the interview with Ariel Helwani a year ago. I mean, you would think at my age, I'd start having Alzheimer's symptoms. And I don't even remember what Gunther said a month ago. Seriously. He feuded with AJ Styles? I don't remember that. Really? He retired John Cena? Really? Somehow it just seemed to have escaped my mind. All right, before we recap Raw in order, I want to just give you a quick update on Alberto El Patron. I don't want to get into a lot of meat and potatoes with it, but I do want to mention one phrase that you guys definitely would want to know. All right, there's programs. All right, could someone, actually, never mind. I have it right here. The program is called a diversion program. I guarantee you that's not what they call it in Mexico, but basically Alberto El Patron was offered what we call a diversion program. It is kind of amazing in a matter of 5 days how decrepit somebody could look. And let me tell you something, in Mexico, they're gangster. They humiliate you when they put mugshots. For those that don't remember, this was, I know it's a little bit out of place, but this was the mugshot for Alberto El Patron. back on Monday of last week. You look at him. He looks pissed. He looks like he's looking at his wife right now. He's got that look. I'm going to fucking slap. You look at him. He looks mad. He looks constipated. He looks like he's on the bowl. All right. 5 days later, look at him now. Look at him now. He's got CM Punk bags under his eyes. He's got droopy cheeks. His beard is half fucking gray. His face looks like he hasn't eaten in 5 days. And, you know, again, Ringside News. I don't frequent their website often, but it kept showing up on my search result today, and I really got angry at my computer. This is the picture that they showed. What they did not show you was the full picture. And when I went and I looked at the full picture, I'm like, yeah, Mexico is gangsta. Mexico is gangsta. Look at his shoulders. He looks like he's got the shoulders of a fifth grader. I mean, who wants to look like a fifth grader? Where's all his definition? They literally had him hold up his release paper. And I think pin is short for pinhead, but that's the release picture that they did today. What a difference. I mean, my God, look at him there, looking tanned and jacked up, and, you know, his hair looks nice. And now look at him now. I mean, who would fuck that? My God, look how sad that is. Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal about Alberto. All right, we'll make him look a little bit more intimidating. All right, here's the deal. He was released on 1.3 million pesos. 1.3 million pesos. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Comes out to about 65,000 American money. They have given him basically an offer. He will not face any jail time, but he has to go into counseling. He cannot go anywhere near his wife. All right, order of protection. I don't know what they call it in Mexico. They might just call it stay away from your fucking wife. But they're giving him what we would call a diversion program. Go to counseling, stay away from your wife, and we will revisit your file in October. If you complete the counseling, if you stay on your best behavior, the charges will be closed. If he does violate this in any way, he could face 1 to 7 years in prison. That is the complete story of what is going on with Alberto El Patron in Mexico. So he is now home, probably figuring out, what the fuck do I do with wrestling now? You know, his promotion that he tried to launch, the new one, is done, obviously. I don't know, other than maybe XPW that would bring him in if XPW is still doing shows again. This guy's cooked. He's done. And, you know, it's sad. It's sad because you would have thought, you know, after all the years, you know, with the exception of the fan altercations, you would have thought after all these years that he's built up that, hey, you know, maybe he is a changed man. He's not a changed man. This guy will die an abuser. You know, that's just the way it is. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. But he is out of prison, $65,000 bail, and he has to complete counseling and stay away from his wife. That is the deal. So he's not going to face any jail time. Remember the people last week? He could face 20 years. Yeah, if he decided to show up and decide to take someone out permanently. You know, I don't know what they were reading, but that is the update on Alberto. So now we could talk a little bit about Raw. So we open up Raw tonight with Roman Reigns. Pre-recorded promo. Very well produced. Basically, Roman opens up by saying, I told you to enjoy the relevancy that you had left. And what did you do? You lied. And then Roman proceeds to show us examples on how he has lied. You know, talks basically showing that CM Punk is a hypocrite. Funny thing about it is that CM Punk is no different than Roman Reigns or Undertaker or anybody else that's employed by TKO right now. They're making crazy amounts of money. They are entertainers. You know, they work very hard wrestling in the ring. It's not just doing movies, but, you know, CM Punk is, in a lot of ways a hypocrite. But CM Punk's promos on Roman Reigns was also hypocritical. When we get to Cody Rhodes and his latest word salad, talking about Pat McAfee, I got a clip from a podcast he did over the weekend, and he talked about Pat McAfee a little bit, and I'm like, what the hell is this word salad? And then you realize, okay, I got to remember that Cody is true a TKO guy, and, he's certainly not going to be a renegade against TKO right now. TKO wants Pat McAfee involved with this. Cody is going to go with it. So Roman is showing different parts of CM Punk's promos over recent times, and is showing how he's a hypocrite. They showed the clip of Pat McAfee talking about CM Punk having 200 items for sale and all the money goes in his bank account, and he brings up apologizing for the Saudi Arabia comment, if you remember that remark. They're all hypocrites, but they're businessmen. And, you can't criticize anybody who's under contract with WWE because they're setting their families for life. They're setting themselves for life. They're setting their kids for life. They're setting up their family's financial future. All right. You don't, other than some NXT stars, you don't hear anybody on the main roster really complaining about the money. Unless there's more of a contract stuff. The stuff that they did with Cross and Scarlett was fucked up. You don't hear that shit happening too often. But outside of that, everybody that's working is getting paid quite well. And, it's going to be interesting to see who gets released right after WrestleMania, because a few people will be getting cut. And I have a feeling one or maybe two MFTs will be OUT. They'll be OUT. But I love the package on how Roman is exposing CM Punk as a hypocrite. And he shows all the contradictions. Roman even says he likes Pat McAfee, and he says a punter never ran his mouth to him, football player. And Roman looks at the camera and says that this is not 2012 anymore as far as CM Punk goes. And he's going to give CM Punk one opportunity tonight. Tell the truth or I will. And then, which I thought was kind of funny, you hear this soundbite that says, this message was approved by your tribal chief. I'm your tribal chief and I approve this message. I was like, I don't know, it just felt like a Paul Heyman joke that we would hear. But that just came out of nowhere. This has been approved by your tribal chief. So now we know something is going to brew later on. So next we have Triple H and Adam Pearce in the ring. And Adam Pearce announces that the contract with Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi will be signed tonight, but they have determined that it will be signed separately. They cannot be in the same ring with each other until WrestleMania. So Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come out first. Paul Heyman gets on the mic and says this contract signing might as well be a Nigerian death warrant. Oba chants is super loud. Brock acknowledges the fans by saying that after WrestleMania, you will not know his name. When we get to WrestleMania odds, it'll be very interesting to reveal to you who is the favorite to win this match right now. And I'm starting to agree with it. Paul calls the match the real main event, and he says, spoiler. And I found this fascinating because I haven't heard many people say this. I know a lot of you have said it, listening or watching. I have said it, that this match could end up in a no contest, that they just start brawling outside the ring and the referee's forced to throw it out. Paul Heyman goes on the mic and says, make no mistake about it, there will be a winner and there will be a loser at WrestleMania. And that loser's name is Oba Femi. And he's trying to say it slow so the crowd would chant Brock Lesnar's name instead. But then Paul Heyman says that he's going to go balls deep into the rumor that the ruler can handle the beast. And he says the conqueror will be Brock Lesnar. So we get the contract signing, and that's it. Very peaceful. No Oba Femi on the rampway, no pull-aparts. Just a great promo by Paul Heyman. If I look sweaty, Today, it was 80 degrees here in New York, and it's very warm in here right now, but I can't put the air conditioner on because I don't have my noise reduction set the right way. So I'm going to have to sweat it out. But we will get the show done, I think, a little bit quicker than usual. Next, we get a training video with the Vision. And every time I write IShowSpeed's name short, my spell check spells ISIS. Remember the terrorist group ISIS? Every time I write Division and ISS, it corrects it and says ISIS. I'm like, is IShowSpeed a terrorist on our product? Like invading the WWE? He's probably the one that I tolerate the most. But they're doing these very well-produced videos. It kind of felt like whoever produced Maxine Dupree and Natalia, give me more. Enough, or whatever she said at the time. It kind of felt like those videos, but obviously this is to put in IShowSpeed's collection. So when he stream, and by the way, when I hear that the clip of LA Knight throwing IShowSpeed through the camera did 450 million views. Soon there's going to be more people. There's going to be more views than people on the planet. 450 million views. All right. You know what happens? They go on X and it repeats. You put it on your screen. Oh, shit. Do you see what LA Knight did to IShowSpeed? Oh, shit. My doorbell's ringing. You go answer the door. It's fucking Amazon. Then you bring your packages in the house. You unload your packages. And then you go wash your hands. You go take a leak. The phone rings. You answer the phone. Then you start putting your things away. Then a half hour goes by. You're like, oh, shit. I forgot to close my X page. And then you realize I just gave 48 views for IShowSpeed getting thrown through the screen by LA Knight. They try to make it seem like 430 million people watched it. It's kind of funny how almost none of them are going to fucking buy tickets for WrestleMania. But we saw the training package. It was okay. It was okay. Charlotte Flair, who just turned 40, if you remember last week's photos, she showed up on Raw with Alexa Bliss. Just like Charlotte cost Bayley the match on SmackDown, we got the favor return tonight on Raw. Charlotte Flair's taking on Lyra Vicaria. You get a moment towards the end of the match where Charlotte goes to roll up Lyra, and here comes Bayley sweeping Charlotte's feet from under her with the referee out of focus. Cannot see from outside the ring, so Charlotte falls backwards. Lyra rolls her up, basically returning the favor for what happened on Friday. Alexa Bliss looks shocked. Charlotte Flair looking shocked. Lyra Vicaria gets the victory. I think it's pretty safe to say that neither team will win at WrestleMania, but we did get that match. LA Knight and the Usos are in the back throwing some jokes around, and suddenly the MFTs are there. The MFTs are there. And Solo Sikoa, he's a little bit annoyed. He trashes the Usos for hanging out with what he calls a clown in LA Knight. And LA Knight, I laughed when he said this. He threw shade at the MFTs. He says that we're going to smack you back to factory settings. I thought that was fucking funny because let me tell you something. Last night after I did my show, my website crashed. I had a couple of plugins that I had to update and one didn't update successfully. I'm sure some of you on my website last night saw these big errors and it pissed me off because I was tired. But I was like, I can't go to sleep until I fix it. Just like Podbean. Last week, somebody told me that Podbean wasn't updating since October. I deleted the motherfucking entire thing and just reloaded it. I lost like 30,000 subscribers over the years, but I wanted to fix it. So last night, I go into my emergency WordPress program and I reset everything to factory settings. I disabled all the plugins and one by one, I started bringing them back until I found the culprit, and luckily we fixed the problem. But when LA Knight said, I'm going to slap you back to your factory settings, I laughed. I thought that was a great line, man. I honestly got to figure out a way to use that in the future. Seriously, if I get into a road rage incident or if somebody in the post office pisses me off, somebody disrespects me in the grocery store, I'm going to just turn around and say, how's about I fucking slap you back to factory settings? I'll probably get my ass kicked because of it, but I got to throw that line somewhere. Seriously. I can't use it on my wife because then, my wife knows exactly what to do to really upset me. So, but that was very good. I really enjoyed that. We had another preview for the Hogan documentary. Kathy Kelly in the ring because I guess maybe Jackie Redmond wasn't there or maybe they didn't want her to take the bump. As we told you last week, no footage of Roxanne Perez, no selfies, no video online because they wanted the hematoma only focused on Liv Morgan. All right. Contrary to these putzes that observed the hematoma last week and said, they're under concussion protocol. They'd see swelling in the head. Oh, concussion protocol. I literally could take my ankle right now. I'm not kidding. I could literally take my ankle right now and go like this to it and then just let you watch it and you'll see my ankle go boop. It'll suck when I put on shoes tomorrow, but it'll look great because I'll get a hematoma just like this. If you butt heads, of course it hurts. And of course, it's kind of like a bad cartoon when you see all those stars above your head, but that doesn't mean immediate concussion protocol. We were told days ago that Liv Morgan is fine. If you saw today, the confrontation with Stephanie McAfee, not only did that hematoma just is gone, but Liv Morgan looked like a psycho. Did you look closely? She had CM Punk eyes tonight. If anybody looks closely, the one thing about CM Punk that I used to criticize for years is, number one, I always thought he smoked because once the TVs turned to 1080p or whatever it is, high definition, suddenly I was like, oh my God, CM Punk has yellow teeth. You go back about 10 years and go look at CM Punk promos. You'll be glued in his teeth. You'll be like, oh my God, his teeth are so yellow. Plus the bags under the eyes. I mean, if CM Punk ever had an Amazon wish list, you would think he would buy that stuff they sell in the drugstore. Did you just rub a little here and then in 60 seconds the bags go away? You're not more gritty because you show bags of a 90-year-old. But he's had these bags under the eyes for like 30 years. Liv Morgan had those bags under her eyes tonight. I don't know if they sell a product in the pharmacy that does the reverse. I know they sell that stuff because when here's a little hidden Don Tony thing. When I got married, I used that on my eyes. I'm not kidding. When I did the wedding photos, I was like, yeah, I want my eyes a little tighter. They're like, oh, just put this stuff on there. You put a little dab and you rub it in. And it was weird because it felt like I had crazy glue in my eyes. Like everything got tight. But it was great for the whole night. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm 20. But CM Punk, he's got those bags. It looked like Liv Morgan bought the opposite. She bought it like, let me put it on my eyes and then turn into bags. She had bags in her eyes. She looked like a psycho. She was flipping the fuck out. So Kathy Kelly's interviewing Stephanie McAfee. And before Stephanie could say one word, here's Liv Morgan. She throws Stephanie into Kathy Kelly. And Kathy Kelly had to be helped to the back. She's fine. But she wanted to take a bump. And it looked great tonight. But they had a nice pull apart. I kind of wish Liv Morgan would have been a little bit more vicious. Liv Morgan said tonight, I always knew your mother was trash, but I didn't know she raised a little bitch. Honestly, Liv, in my neighborhood, you say that to someone, you'd be like, thank you. That's very kind of you. I know she can't use the P word, but when Stephanie backed out of Dodge, I mean, if this was AEW, Liv Morgan would have got on the mic and said, I always knew your mother was a trash, but I didn't know she raised a pussy. Because Stephanie just backed out of the ring. And then Stephanie said something that was half Spanish, half English. She was like, blah, 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 why wait for WrestleMania? And she hits the ring and they start brawling. And fans loved it. Liv Morgan and Stephanie McAfee is in my top 4 or 5 matches I want to see the weekend. That match is out of all the women's matches, that match I want to see the most. More than AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, by far more than that. So we had the nice pull apart. Sold on that match. Iyo Sky in the back, interviewed. I will be cheering for Rhea. Asuka shows up, and Asuka's like, a year ago, you were women's champion. Now, you're Rhea Ripley's lapdog, your sidekick. And Iyo with that, she's got the sad puppy eyes again. And Kairi is like torn in the middle. And Io's like, you don't need to take that. And Asuka announces that Asuka's got a match. Kairi Sane is going to take on Iyo Sky tonight. And Kairi looks confused. She looks reluctant. Then she decides, yes, I will face you tonight. And Asuka's like, good girl, let's go. So here's a little news for anybody that wants to know this. This match should happen at WrestleMania, and I think it will. If you don't know what happened today, Iyo Sky tweeted and deleted. Somebody in WWE told her, you take that down immediately. Iyo Sky, and the tweet I posted on X or on the screen right now is one post, but it was so long that I split it in two so you can actually see it, because I know a lot of you watch on your phones. Iyo Sky wrote on X earlier with a bunch of vintage pictures. Asuka, the achievements you made in WWE have been truly brilliant. Kairi and I have always looked up to you, but the way you're treating Kairi right now is changing all of that. If dragging Kairi around and using her as a shield is your idea of love, then my love is to go anywhere and everywhere to be Rhea's shield. I'm definitely not afraid to face you, my senior, who I once loved so dearly. Let's settle this once and for all. Which of our loves deserves to have it all? Hope to see you in Vegas. That's the WrestleMania challenge. WWE's like, nah, you take that down. You take that down. So they took it down. Here's the deal about Asuka versus Iyo Sky. Michael Cole said today once again that Nikki Bella is still trying to recover from an ankle injury, and she will be a last-minute decision WrestleMania. That is actually true. If Nikki Bella cannot go, which is kind of surprising, because that ankle injury, if it was a deep sprain, that was several weeks ago, and this is a fatal four-way. So Nikki Bella probably doesn't have to do all that much during the match. And you would think, like a football player, you tape it up really, really well. She takes a couple of slugs of that Bella wine that they have in California, and she puts on the boots and everything. I mean, she should be able to work 5-10 minutes. I don't know what the hell happened with the ankle, but what they're doing is they're going to wait until WrestleMania weekend. And if it ends up that Nikki Bella cannot go, sorry, Brie. Sorry. You're not in the match either. The Kabuki Warriors will take that spot. But remember what I said yesterday. Asuka's worked double duty at WrestleMania before. There's no reason why the Kabuki Warriors could not have the match on the Saturday and then announce that Asuka is going to take on Iyo on Sunday. In fact, that could end up being the plan. The plan could be the Kabuki Warriors in this match, and Iyo causes Asuka the victory, and then they make the match official for the following night. Asuka could end up working both nights. I personally think that Nikki Bella will be good to go, but just in case she's not, that's why they have not officially announced Iyo Sky versus Asuka as of yet. When I do predictions on Wednesday, if the match is announced by Wednesday, then yeah, fine. But even if the match is not announced, I will give you my prediction. And I think almost everyone's going to say the same thing. Iyo Sky's got to get the victory. After all of this, and then Kairi saying, what does she do? Something weird happened in that match today. Did you guys see that top rope spot? It was kind of strange to see Kairi saying just like, there was like a pause. It was put it this way, it was almost like the glitch that Vince Russo and Coach had on their podcast. She literally was on the rope and there was like a pause, almost like somebody hit the pause button and then she fell backwards like 2 seconds later. It was like, okay, that was a little strange. I don't know if anybody caught that, but so now the Usos and LA Knight defeated Tanga Loa, Solo Sikoa, and JC Mateo. Basically, what happened in this match towards the end, Solo Sikoa pushed Jey Uso over the announcer's table. So Solo Sikoa is outside the ring, and Tama Tonga shows up. And they're teasing a split with Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. So Solo goes up to his face like, where were you? Where were you? So Matarat's Tangaloa, which that MFT I think will be DFA'd soon. I hate to say that, and I don't like saying that, but to me, Tangaloa, like somebody says like pick up the wand, and somebody says like one must go. Like never was in WWE. Sorry, Tonga. It's just, to me, MFT stands for motherfucking Tonga Loa. Motherfucking Tonga. MFT. So Tonga Loa gets distracted. He sees Tama Tonga. So LA Knight rolls him up. BFT trigger, roll up, victory. We find out that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, contrary to some reports out there, it is returning. I don't know why people thought that it wasn't returning. You saw the reports the last 2 weeks. My sources tell me that WWE is not going to bring as many people in for WrestleMania and do the Andre. Yeah, okay. All right. I don't know who told you that. But the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal will be returning. It'll happen on SmackDown, which has happened before. For anybody that wants a little refresher of who won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royals in the past, well, I will share with you now. When Michael Cole said that it's helped launch careers, I don't know necessarily how many on this list, because if you notice, some were on the roster for quite some time already. 2014, Cesaro. 2015, Big Show. 2016, Baron Corbin. 2017, he ain't hype. Mr. TMZ himself, Mojo Rawley. 2018, Matt Hardy. 2019, Braun Strowman. 2021, there was no 2020. Pandemic. Jey Uso. 2022, Madcap Moss. 2023, Bobby Lashley. 2024, Bronson Reed. 2025, Carmelo Hayes. Who will win this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Will it be somebody that's going to have a match at WrestleMania? I would say no, even though there's some rumors that they might put some participants of the ladder match in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't think that should happen. I think that would be a huge mistake. There's some people reporting that. I think that might just be guessing, to be honest with you. So that was announced for Friday. Gunther hits the ring. And Gunther is about to talk, and Seth immediately shows up and brawls. And my immediate reaction was, shit, we're going to go into WrestleMania with no explanation at all. So suddenly Seth gets on the mic, and he says he demands an explanation. So Gunther finally gives us one. And again, Gunther could have used the same promo on anybody. He could go to literally NXT. He could go anywhere and just say, you cannot lace my boots. But Gunther gets on the mic and says, yeah, I'm going to resolve Paul Heyman's problem, but this is personal. He says, when I was champion, you became a useful idiot for Paul Heyman. So Gunther wants to prove that Seth cannot lace his boots. And this proceeded with a brawl, and Gunther is chased into the crowd. I think this match might be one of the best matches in the night if they let them go long enough. This is going to be a phenomenal match. Yes, I kind of wish it would have been built a little bit better, but I also do believe that the Braun Breaker situation was a very big factor here. I still am not sold on the idea that Gunther was going to take on Rey Mysterio. I could see possibly when Gunther was doing what he was doing with Dragon Lee, that Rey shows up and gets in Gunther's face. And I could see Gunther laughing his ass off because Rey is so small compared to him. And Gunther, the challenge is made, Gunther accepts, and even Gunther teases at WrestleMania, I'm going to take your mask. Now, if this was AEW, he probably could say, I'm going to take your mask and I'm going to wipe my ass with it. I'm going to wipe my ass with it. I'm going to pull a Pat Patterson and show you the skid mark too. And then I'm going to put the mask back on your face. And then I'm going to put it opposite so the skid mark is right in your mouth. You know, that's what you would do. But we didn't get that. We're getting Gunther versus Seth. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. At least we know that match is going to deliver. So now we start getting towards the conclusion of Raw. Dominic Mysterio is upset with Adam Pearce about facing the Demon. As I wrote, he's fine with Finn, but he's not down with the Demon. He's very nervous. He doesn't want to fight the Demon. You know, to me, this is, again, one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most. And by the way, it was funny because I'll segue to a little news tidbit too, for anybody that's interested. WWE is launching WWE Club. So today they showed a video promo telling people that if you want to join the waiting list, you go to, I think it's WWE.com/WWE Club, I think it is. And you could join this waiting list to be one of the founding members of Club WWE. So I was like, all right, you know, I'll be like one of these YouTubers. I signed up with WWE Club, so you don't have to. You ever watch those videos? I ate Oscar Mayer bacon, so you don't have to. I tested this tampon, so you don't have to. You ever see those? I want to smack those people out there. I tried this, so you don't have to. Well, I signed up, and I got an interesting email. So I'm going to share it with you. Sorry, Punk Reigns, we got to take you off the screen for a second. If anybody wants to zoom in, by all means. If you don't want to zoom in, or if like the remote control, the phone is a little bit too far away from you and you can't, like I'm too lazy to grab the phone and zoom in. This is the message I got as far as what Club WWE is all about. It says, Anthony, dear Anthony, thank you for joining the Club WWE waitlist. You are now on track to becoming a founding member of the Ultimate Insider Membership Program, designed to bring you closer to WWE than ever before through exclusive access, rewards, and experiences. Here is a look of what you can look forward to as part of your Club WWE membership. Exclusive 24-hour ticket pre-sale access to WWE events around the world and tailored perks, featured events, including hospitality opportunities and entrances. Basically, I get an extra 24 hours to tell you, no, I'm not spending that money on location. I will be on location in my house. You also get members-only WWE shop. This sounds like fucking WrestleMania. Give us $5,000 and you could have early access to the world. You could get in and buy shit before everyone else. You could be a members-only WWE shop featuring exclusive collections and early access to merchandise drops like John Cena's upcoming Never Seen 17 collection. She was only 17. Bonus WWE content featuring inside scoops, extended cuts, behind-the-scenes footage, and more. Dedicated members-only community forum connecting fans around the world like never before. Because social media is not enough. This will be a different experience. I'm ad-libbing some stuff. Points-based reward system, allowing fans to earn credits to redeem the redeemer against digital and physical goods. WWE Shop has it already. And premium welcome pack for founding members. So out of everything there, I don't know how much this is. They don't tell you how much it is. But if it's cheap, I will be a founding father. I kind of feel like a president, like the founding fathers of the world. Do I get the George Washington wig? When I get my official founding member of the WWE, I'm going to get the George Washington wig. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to go on this show. I'm going to have big Club WWE in the background. It's funny. I literally been doing this and I'm like, wait, I'm not on the screen. The fucking logo is. I'm going to get the George Washington wig. And I'm going to put it on, and I'm a founding member of WWE Club. I get exclusive access, early access to spend my money. Could you imagine if I joined the forum? People would be like, what's this fucking 57-year-old creep doing in this forum? People get back, I love Roman Reigns. I love Liv. I love Stephanie. What are you doing tomorrow? What are you having for lunch? What school do you go to? Like, I can't go to the forum. What am I going to do? If I talk to anybody, it's going to be like, wow, that's kind of like, you're like Velveteen Dream's father. Mother from another brother. No. Brother from another mother. That's more like it. I'm not a mother from another brother. I didn't have that transition. So, all right. Kairi Sane defeats Iyo Sky. And as we close out Raw, but not this show, we still have another probably 50 minutes to go. Kairi defeats Iyo Sky. Early on, we get a little bit of a goofy tug of war. Kairi's outside the ring, and I hate always using this as a prop. And look, oh, wow, I can't even use it as a prop. The chicken has no arms. Did you ever notice that the chicken has no arms? Let's turn it upside down. This is Kairi's left arm, and this is Kairi's right arm. And Asuka's like, no, she's mine. Io's like, no, she's mine. You don't deserve this. Get away from her. And they're literally, and Kairi's like, she's like, get away. It was like a goofy tug of war. Like they were battling for the fucking turkey, the turkey wing or whatever it is at Thanksgiving. So what ends up happening, and this was weird. Kairi Sane was on the top, she was on the middle rope with Iyo. Iyo then goes on the top rope. Kairi's on the top rope too, and I'm like, wow, she's setting her up for a superplex. Then all of a sudden, Iyo falls backwards. And I'm like trying to figure out, okay, what's going to happen next? Because Io's head was behind the ring post. And I was like, wow, if Kairi Sane somehow jumps over that ring post and nails Iyo on the opposite side, that'll be a first. But instead, Iyo reaches up and hits Kairi Sane in the head. And again, this looked like WCW Thunder. It looked like LFG. It looked like somebody snuck in the LFG arena who has no wrestling experience. Iyo hits Kairi, and for a split second, Kairi just is standing there frozen. And then she falls backwards. And when it happened, I'm like, all right, the only thing I could say is if Kairi Sane did that as a setup, so the referee was distracted, so Asuka could do what she did to Iyo, okay, fine, if that was intentional. But it shouldn't look intentional because the referee was tending to Kairi. Asuka sweeps Io's legs from under her, and she takes a fall. And then Kairi goes for the advantage, but it didn't seem like Kairi was like, I set you up. Kairi ends up, getting the upper hand. Iyo retaliates. Iyo goes up for the moonsault. And once again, the referee is tending to Kairi. And Kairi didn't seem injured or anything. It was just a little bit, okay, we need to get the referee distracted so Asuka could do what she did again. She pulls Io's legs from under her, and Kairi Sane gets the victory. During all of this mess at the end, Rhea Ripley's music hits to try to neutralize what Asuka is doing. So you hear, this is my brutality, and the crowd is going nuts because Rhea is probably the most over woman in that company. She hits the ring, and here comes Jade Cargill. Right behind her, levels her. So Jade is done because she doesn't want to get physically involved with anyone else. She laid out Rhea. Rhea is basically out. Iyo is basically out. Kairi Sane gets the victory on Iyo, and after the match is over, Rhea and Iyo are both in the ring looking angry. They're pissed. Iyo got screwed. Rhea got jumped from behind. So, again, this, I think, is going to set up the WrestleMania match. I personally think the Kabuki Warriors should fight on the first night because if they don't, it only leads to a backstage segment or an X post. If we get the return of the X post by Iyo tomorrow or Wednesday, and Asuka responds, and then Adam Pearce just goes on X and says, it is official. Like, that's kind of lame. They could announce it on SmackDown. You could have Iyo Sky show up on SmackDown. I don't think she's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but if you do have them return to SmackDown, you could make the match official on SmackDown. But I personally think you have the Kabuki Warriors fight on Saturday. Iyo kind of screws that up, and then it leads to the match official for Sunday. No reason why Asuka can't work double duty, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Ultra, I talked about Rhea's, that bullshit be earlier with Ringside News and some others. Posting fake stuff about Rhea Ripley's physique. I don't put any merit. I don't talk about fake news like that. These people are douchebaggers that just look like transformation and be like, oh, something must be wrong with that person. You know, it's kind of funny because when that story came out, I saw a bunch of people like, I don't remember Rhea talking about this. And sure enough, Rhea Ripley did go public and say, yeah, I don't remember talking about this either. So, all right. So next we get, I think we should put Oba Femi back on the screen because this was awesome. I kept typing. I was like, I love every part of this. Adam Pearce and Triple H are out again. Oba Femi hits the ring. Paul Heyman is on the rampway because obviously Paul Heyman needs to have the confrontation with Oba, not Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman gets on the mic and says, being in this industry my entire life, I've never seen someone come across to the audience as fast as Oba Femi. Believe it or not, as far as a babyface goes, I think Paul is pretty accurate. I don't think Goldberg was different. Because Goldberg, it was more of just, not trying to diminish like Hugh Morris, but he felt like Hugh Morris, the gambler. Like he was facing like average mid-card talent early on. Oba is right in there with the Sharks. He faced Cody at Saturday night's main event. He's facing Brock. They threw Oba right in with the Sharks. This is not like Goldberg is like, I'm 2-0. On the main roster, and he's fighting fucking a world champion already, non-title or not. Oba, I think that's pretty accurate. In my years watching, doesn't mean other wrestlers were not more popular, but talking about somebody that is going to face someone on the level of Brock Lesnar, this is big. He calls Oba the most violent person to come to the WWE since Brock Lesnar. He's the fastest rising star in the WWE since Brock Lesnar. He's the most impressive combat fighter since Brock Lesnar. Meanwhile, loud Oba Femi chants, Oba chants, and Paul Heyman is telling the fans, you're starting to piss me off, which everything was beautiful. And then Oba gets on the mic. Paul Heyman finishes up by saying, on Sunday, Oba, everything that you have built will come crashing down, courtesy of an F5 Suplex City. And Oba, there's no shame in your loss at WrestleMania, but you will be conquered by the beast. I promise you, Oba, when you do fall and you need to rebuild your career, my door will always be open to Oba Femi. And that's how Paul finished. And, obviously the battle scars line was something that was obviously discussed in advance because Oba got a little sidetracked for a moment and then went right back to it. The fans are chanting his name. And Oba gets on the mic and says, it's taken a lot for me to just go down there and kick your ass. Beat you from pillar to post. The fans are getting louder. Then they're chanting, beat his ass, beat his ass. So Oba says, I could beat him up, but the physical scars will heal. But the emotional scars will stay open when I beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I do a damn good Oba Femi. I got to practice a little bit more. Not tonight, though. So he's going to, I could beat up Paul. And he'll have physical wounds, but the emotional wounds will last a lifetime when he beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. He reminds Paul that it was Brock and him that issued the open challenge 4 weeks ago, And in 4 weeks, he proved that he could beat Brock. They can feel it. I can feel it. And it's time to stop the beast. And he says, if you were honest, you would come to this ring right now and say Brock Lesnar is afraid of Oba Femi. I will win. I will slay the beast. I am the one, and I've always been the one. I am the one, Paul. They know it. I know it. And at WrestleMania, you will know it too. And everything about it clicked. Everything about it. I hope this fucking match is off the hook. I hope it's off the hook. And I don't want to do early predictions, but I think it has to be Oba Femi with the victory. You want to do a double count out, no contest, fine. If it leads to another match, fine. Do I want to see a sign of respect afterwards? Yeah, I think I do. I'd rather see Brock show a little respect to Oba, not necessarily passing the torch, but I guarantee you if Oba defeats Brock and there's a handshake after, just a little sign of respect, you will see 95% of the IWC saying that Brock passed the torch to Oba. And that's awesome. Because how many people were trying to tell you, Brock will not lose to Oba. Absolutely will not lose until he retires. Will not lose to Oba. You know, there's controversy, there's heat. You know, Brock Lesnar will not lose to a black man. Some people did write that. Yes. People that always like to rage comment or whatever that shit's called. So now we get Javon Evans and Dragon Lee defeat Jaden McDonough and Rusev. Dragon Lee with the Styles Clash on JD for the win. After the match is over, Rusev with a little beatdown. This sparks Ray to come out, sparks Penta to come out. In the end, Rusev leaves everybody laying. He puts the accolade onto Dragon Lee, trying to give us the impression that Rusev might have the early odds-on favorite to win. Nah. Even though I'm a big fan of the Dima. The Dima! You're not winning at WrestleMania. Danhausen is in the back. He wants to see John Cena at WrestleMania. A little skit there. Then we get to the finish. And we have to put Roman and CM Punk on the screen. Get off my screen, Brock and Oba. CM Punk, Roman Reigns to close it out. Just to add what I said at the beginning of the show. Roman Reigns comes out first. Sacramento, acknowledge me. Immediately, CM Punk's music hits. Kind of surprised CM Punk didn't say this. Surprised the commentators didn't say this. I don't know how many of you out there thought about it, but the way CM Punk came out there, it was a direct shot at Jey Uso. I almost thought he was going to go on the mic and say, sorry I made you wait, but I kind of wanted to see what it feel like for your cousin to make everybody wait for a match too. Like, I honestly felt CM Punk coming out the way he did was a shot at Jey Uso. They really didn't focus on that at all. Somebody just said it's a shot at the Shield. That's a very good one too. But, the Shield has been done for so fucking long. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's probably what it was, to be honest with you. But let me put it this way. The Shield hit the ring a shitload faster than Jey Uso. Seriously. I mean, the Shield, let me put it this way. I don't recall the Shield walking down the aisle and the fans are patting them on the back. Yeah, Shield. I don't remember them stopping and just acknowledging the fans and, giving fist pumps or anything. Maybe as they're walking by, but the Shield fucking hit that ring awfully quick. Jey Uso, it's it's just me, Us, and he's picking up kids and he's doing it. Jey Uso takes 10 minutes. I don't remember the Shield being that long. But you're probably right. It was a shot at the Shield. To me, I think it would have worked better as trolling Jey Uso. What's more relevant right now? Taking a shot at that family or mocking the Shield? After all these years, mocking the Shield? I don't think that was very necessary, but CM Punk is on the mic first. Calls Roman Reigns' open tonight a smear campaign. CM Punk early on is getting what chance, which I found interesting. And then CM Punk says, I will tell the truth. And Sacramento will witness it. And then this is where CM Punk says, I hate you because I envy you. I dreamed of this my entire life. I hate you because I hate that this was handed to you. Brings up 1,316 days. I hate how hard you worked to get that. I hate how many times you main evented WrestleMania. And he keeps saying, tell me where I'm telling lies, Roman. Tell me where I'm telling lies, Roman. Roman likes to call CM Punk Phil, but I think only once we heard Joe. Like, Punk will just call Roman Roman. He says, am I lying, Roman? I hate that I feel this way. He mentions Sika. Little mild reaction. CM Punk says that Sika was a great man, a great wrestler, a great champion. I respect the old timers, and I hate the fact that I invoked his name in vain. And because of that, I sincerely apologize to you. Straight up apology. And yes, cool to see. Probably not what the fans wanted after all the mind games, as we said earlier in the night. You know, for the past month, it's mind games. Everything was mind games. So just imagine putting all these mind games on Roman, and then 4, 5 days, 6 days before, you turn around and you clear Roman's head. Oh, I don't have to be angry about Sika anymore. He apologized. Oh, he envies me. He says I worked hard. He actually said a lot of great things. In fact, Roman even responded to him and says, you know, I think this is the most honest you've ever been. Up to the end when you said that you're going to retain the title. I don't know if people wanted that much honesty. If anything, maybe that should have been a month ago, and then it just progressively goes downhill afterwards. Just imagine you watch a movie. Just imagine, I don't want to go outdated and say like a Rocky movie. Just imagine, you know, like Mr. T or fucking Drago or anybody else early in the night, like 10 minutes into the movie, 15 minutes in the movie, he's trolling Rocky Balboa, you know, because I watched Rocky 3 the other day. Balboa, you know, he's like trashing him. They want to fight. He's taking shots at his wife. Now, imagine watching an hour and a half of this movie, and then right before the fight happens, they have a face-to-face. And, you know, Balboa, I respect you. I envy you. I love my mama, too. I love my mama. I respect you. I love my mama. You know, like, imagine just clearing Rocky's head at the end. Just imagine, no. Why would you clear Roman's head at the very end unless it's a swerve? But we got a little bit of reminder of how hard CM Punk worked to get where he's at. I hate that there's more than one royal family. I wasn't born into a dynasty. I had to find my family. I don't know what that feels like. I had to work the backyards to find my family. I had to work the streets of Chicago, Sacramento, the VW halls, the bowling alleys, the abandoned churches. I conquered the indies. I wasn't handed anything. I busted my ass and made pro wrestling my home. I hate that I feel this way. I hate that I have to face you in my first singles match at WrestleMania, main event, obviously. I have gold on my shoes and gold around my waist. And late Sunday night, after the match is over, I will have gold still over my head as still your world heavyweight champion, with Vegas chanting my name. Tell me where I'm telling lies. So now Roman gets on the mic. And this was so short. What was the rush? I get it. They try to go off the air by 10:35. That's why we've been talking in 10:40 starts, and we always seem to be on point with that start time. So Reigns then says, Punk, I think that's the most you ever told the truth. You were telling the truth up until the end about the outcome Sunday night. And then Reigns says, I hate you. I hate you because the fans have been chanting your name for 10 years. I hope after I leave, they chant my name for 10 years like they did for you. I gave you 2 months to hold this relevancy, and you did nothing with it. Sunday, will be new World Heavyweight Champion. And if you go back and you watch that, when Roman says after Sunday night, the referee will say, and new World, he got a decent amount of boos for that. Got a decent amount of boos. He says, on Sunday, we fixed this mess that you started. We're back at the top. I will take back the top, and you, along with the whole world, will acknowledge me. Stare down off the air. That's it. And as I'm watching this, if you saw what I posted in the synopsis, I wrote, who is more plastic and manufactured in the WWE right now? Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes? Because one thing that we've been trying to do, and trust me, it's not easy to do because, first of all, we don't get paid that kind of money. Second of all, we don't write for WWE. But how do you possibly turn chicken shit into chicken salad, or try to? And the more I think about this storyline with Pat McAfee, the more I say to myself, Cody Rhodes has been the one around TKO when TKO exploded and the stock went up to $200 a share. Everything has been around Cody. Randy Orton has been almost non-existent during the uprise of WWE through TKO. And sure, Roman Reigns goes on Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that, but so does Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, every time he shows up, I notice more and more, it's a lot of word salad. And if you think that I'm wrong, and I'm not crapping on Cody Rhodes, I will continue saying Cody is the number one guy in that company. That guy is the most professional person you could put at the top of the list to be the representative for WWE. He is the one guy that you could have. It's not even Cena anymore because Cena is obviously Hollywood. It's not even Roman, because Roman, it's more of sweatpants and hanging out and doing talk shows. Cody, to me, is more plastic, because somebody reminded me yesterday about dashing Cody Rhodes. You remember those dashing videos about mouthwash and grooming your eyes, brushing your teeth, and they would show his body very, very slowly? I would get physically uncomfortable with that. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm a heterosexual guy. Like if you're slowly showing me from someone's calves all the way up to their face and he's wearing nothing but fucking a little pair of trunks, and you're trying to make it look sexual, it's like, I don't want to see that. Like, show me a hot girl instead. For some of you out there, it's the opposite. My point is, dashing Cody Rhodes has been plastic for a long time. He's the one that wanted a reality show when he was working in AEW. Brandy was doing a touch of brandy and a shot of tequila. You know, she was trying out acting when she was doing the stuff with Awesome Kong in AEW. I'm not crapping on them. What I'm saying is that if you think about anybody that would be a TKO representative, someone that could be on the board of directors, someone who could be in managerial position, it's not Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes across as, I'm a father now. I'm a great husband. I want to spend time with my family, my kids. You know, I still love wrestling, but I have a nice balance. This is not someone who, you know, eats, sleeps, shits every little spot of WWE that does 1,001 interviews. This is someone who, like I said yesterday, he'll be walking out in a hotel and you'll see a few people in the lobby and he'll just hang out and mingle a little bit. Cody Rhodes has got to take the back entrance so he can get on his bus. And if you do get on his bus or go anywhere near his bus, you got to pay $10,000 to do it. All right. I'm not, again, crapping on Cody. But when you think about everything about Cody, I said yesterday, if you look at his face up close, if they make a wax figure of Cody Rhodes and Cody Rhodes stands next to it, or somebody pauses the video of Cody about to, some people will think that Cody is actually the wax figure. If you look closely, when he gets his eyebrows touched, they probably put it under a microscope to find microscopic hairs that might be in and out of alignment. You look at everything about his teeth. You look at everything about him. It's perfect. You look at his shoes. You look at his manicure. You look at everything about Cody Rhodes. It is almost like too perfect. Does he represent TKO, or does Randy represent TKO? So when you see Pat McAfee talking about Randy's going to save WWE, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It makes no sense. If you want to truly turn this shit upside down, Cody Rhodes is the fucking TKO guy. Cody Rhodes is the one that fucking all these fucking giant packages he's circled around. And if you think about it, when he does these interviews, if you listen closely, people find it cool to hang out with Cody. So I think they're more in awe. But I want you to hear right now an interview that Cody Rhodes did. All right, it's only about 90 seconds long, but he was on with Matt and Shane's secret podcast. It's not a secret anymore. He talked about Pat McAfee. And again, I've been saying this for weeks. You're going to look back on this, and it's like the white Travis Scott. Seriously. If Pat McAfee is the white Travis Scott, it's like, okay, how do we get John Cena more over as a heel, Cody Rhodes more over as a babyface? We'll bring out Travis Scott, punch him in the ear, fucking get under everybody's skin. Why is this fucking non-wrestler in the ring with everybody else? Why do I see fucking Topps card 1 of 1 and Travis Scott has to be on there? Why is this guy getting all of this attention? Where Travis Scott, when he does concerts, I don't see him saying, hey, everybody, LA Knight is here. Let's bring him on stage. Like, you don't see it very reciprocal. Now, thank God that relationship fell apart. And everybody was like, shh, we can't talk about that. To me, it's the same thing again. Pat McAfee was brought in to solidify Randy Orton as a heel, to solidify Cody Rhodes as a babyface. Randy Orton's not saving us for anything. Randy Orton wants to be champion. Randy Orton's not talking about saving WWE. The stock is $200 a share. They're charging big premium tickets, but people are buying it. I'm sorry if I piss anybody off, but I got to do this one more time. I promise you I won't do it again after this, because by this weekend, we'll get the press release. By Monday, you'll get the press release that WrestleMania 42 broke records from 41. All right. I use this example again. All right. I have 10,000 of these custom hotel keys from WrestleMania from a few years ago. I get 10,000 of these Brock Romans. And someone else, tonight, let's call this person, we can't say Tony and Tony. Let's call this person Pat. Okay? I got 10,000. No, let's use who's a stupid journalist that we could use? No. Because some people will mention my friends, and that's not right. Let's just use Schmuck. Joe Schmuck. Joe Schmuck has 10,000 of these Steve Austins, and Don Tony has 10,000 of these Roman Brocks. Which person would you want to be? The person that says, I sold all 10,000 of these, $10 a pop, or would you be the person that says, I only sold 8,000. I have 2,000 left over, but I sold them at $14 a pop. What would you rather be? The person who made $100,000 and says they sold everything out, or the person that only sold 80% of them but made 112,000? 100,000, 112,000. So when you see all of these matarazzas talking about WrestleMania is down 10,000 tickets from last year, it's still breaking fucking records. Investors are not going to talk about, you sold 10,000 less tickets. They're going to see the bottom line. They're going to see how much money is made. I'm not liking it. I'm not rooting for WWE. I'm not rooting for TKO. I don't have any stock. But when you see these people that are passionate about ticket sales, I'm like, do you motherfuckers realize it's not about just how many tickets are sold, it's how much money you make? Now, if you only sold 8,000 and this was also $10 a pop, then we can talk. But these motherfuckers don't think about that. So you look at the whole situation. Randy Orton's not saving anyone. Randy Orton was not involved in what led to the explosion of TKO stock and the record profits and record revenue or anything like that. Randy's been out. Randy had the back injury for a little while, not the very serious one, but he was out last year for a little while. Creative had nothing for him. Creative had nothing for him. So if anybody was going to save WWE right now, first of all, WWE's not in trouble. It's fans online that are angry. That doesn't make WWE in trouble. That just makes a lot of people complaining about WWE. So Pat McAfee aligning with Cody Rhodes is the story. If they had Pat McAfee align with, plus remember, Jelly Roll was involved last year with Randy Orton. Jelly Roll, if you want to insist on having shocking, well, you have both motherfuckers turn on Randy Orton. The only reason why I don't think this is likely to happen is because we hear at Backlash, they're going to do Cody and Jelly Roll versus Randy Orton and Pat McAfee. But if you truly want to take this chicken shit storyline, you take the white Travis Scott that is Pat McAfee, you take Rain Man, and you turn around and say that Cody is going to save WWE, from all this, because it's hypocritical. There's nothing wrong with WWE. They're greedy motherfuckers. Who comes off as more greedy? Randy Orton, that is doing no VIP packages that feel bad for fans in the hotel that tell them that they paid $5,000 to go to Mania? Or is it Cody Rhodes that will look you in the eye, shake your hand, have a shot of vodka with you, and take $10,000 so you could sit on his bus for 20 minutes? Again, not crapping on Cody. I'm a big fan of Cody. But if anybody was a TKO poster child right now, it is Cody Rhodes. It is not Randy Orton. So if you wanted to turn this chicken shit into chicken salad, I'd fucking have Randy Orton set up here. Randy, you're not the future. The Attitude Era was 20 years ago. The Attitude Era ended 20 years ago. Randy Orton is the past. Cody is the future. Cody is the leader. Cody is the one with the fucking manicure and under a microscope eyebrows and shit. Everything has got to be picture perfect. His suits are not from Walmart. His fucking suits are from some fucking, extravagant place in some foreign country somewhere. Right? This is a guy that has to have a bust. This is a guy that has to have this. Randy Orton is probably the opposite of what TKO is all about right now. So that's my attempt, but I want you to hear Cody Rhodes explain Pat McAfee. And when I said a few weeks ago that this is WWE Unreal all over again, instead of Travis Scott, it's Pat McAfee. How do we get Cody more of a babyface? How do we get the fans turn on Randy Orton? Fans like Randy Orton too much. Randy Orton has shown too much of himself in recent years for people to see why they love him so much. How do you turn him into a big douchebag right now? Well, you have him aligned with the biggest douchebag right now, Pat McAfee. Makes no sense whatsoever. And down the line, Randy Orton will RKO Pat McAfee. That may not be for a year. So you look at everything, and why do I say this is WWE Unreal? Listen very closely when Cody Rhodes uses the phrase, "We inserted Pat McAfee." Listen closely.
What do you do?
Let's see how we could explain. Randy Orton, who I'm wrestling at WrestleMania, we have almost 2 decades of history between each other. He was my mentor. I had Cena, who I drove around. I had Randy. Very different opinions, but also really helped shape me. We were on screen together as part of his group legacy. He had my dad's last match, my first match in the company against Randy. There was a lot of rich story material. And then we inserted Pat McAfee. And we are literally in that part right there.
Yeah.
So your question is everybody else's question.
True.
And
what the hell's this guy even doing here?
Like the troops all outside and there's that clown, right? I'm not saying he's like the clown in that regards. It's an interesting fit. And we're gonna see where it goes.
You're saying he's not a serious person?
No, I don't. I think he seems like you can't have that much success and be ground up like he is without being a serious person and having been to the Thunderdome. And
for sure,
there's what I would say is right now what I've seen is everyone around Pat McAfee, his orbit, probably someone needs to say no every now and then. That seems like a dangerous group of people to, you need, like we were talking about Bob Holly earlier, man. You need that one guy in the room to be like, I don't know, man, jumping into the WrestleMania main event. Also, while I was getting my ass kicked in the ring the other night, looking up and he's wearing shades, like he put the shades on to go out there. It's a different era of wrestling. It was like watching a guy at a bar do like a Stone Cold impression or like, and here's the thing. And I'm really trying to, I'm just going to stick with I don't know him, but this is my, I heard him again, getting my ass kicked. I heard him talk about the Attitude Era and I'm thinking, oh man, I don't think he knows. Almost 30 years ago, so love it. And it was the most prolific era in the business until the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So if you're part of the last 4 years, you kind of feel like, why are we talking about this? You know what I'm saying? We're playing in this game. Why are we talking about this? And I'll stick with the official though. I don't know him. Yeah.
Damn.
No wonder why that fucking podcast is secret. Cody Rhodes said nothing for 90 seconds. And these goofs, because they got Cody on there, he said nothing. Listen to it closely. If I was interviewing, I would turn around and I would have said, isn't that kind of what you did last year with Travis Scott? Isn't that kind of what you did with Travis Scott? I'm looking up and this guy fucking potatoes me in the air. I'm like, why is this guy here? Like, they did the exact same fucking thing. And Cody truly doesn't know what to say. Again, I'm not shitting on the guy, but let's be honest here. This motherfucker went on this interview, got a lot of high-profile exposure off of it, and after 90 seconds, I want to drink fucking scotch, and I'm not a scotch drinker. I'm like, you said nothing. He's bringing up Attitude Era and Hardcore Holly and all this other stuff. I'm like, one has nothing to do with the other. We inserted Pat McAfee. It's the same fucking shit as they did Travis Scott. It's the same thing. And I just, again, if you're going to try to convince me how this should have went, Cody Rhodes should have aligned with these motherfuckers. Seriously. Again, forget about Attitude Era. They can't call it the Ruthless Aggression Era because it's not a household name with wrestling. The Attitude Era did not save wrestling. It knocked WCW out of business, but you look, even when the stock first started, it was $9 a share. WWE wasn't making billions of dollars. WCW was sold for what, 4 million, 5 million? Literally the on-location packages that they're offering WrestleMania weekend. Think of one Saudi Arabia match could have bought WCW 5 times over, not 12 times over because we have to adjust for inflation. But it's just ridiculous. One has nothing to do with the other. The difference with the Attitude Era is that WCW was dominating and WWE was having issues, and then they had to do the new generation, the Attitude Era. Good guy versus bad guy is passé. That's because WCW was handing WWE their ass, and WCW had the financial momentum. The fucking stock is $200 a share right now. Ticket prices are thousands. What do you mean saving? Pat McAfee makes 0 cents. Cody Rhodes makes 0 cents. And you can't take something that makes no sense and try to put logic around it. So to me, the only way you make logic with this is you have corporate align with Cody Rhodes, because that is you'd see what's going on the last 4 years? We're saving WWE. Do you see how much money is coming in? Do you see how much the stock price? Do you see how much we're saving WWE? WWE's not in financial disarray right now. The Pat McAfee stuff means nothing. And when you have Cody there for 90 seconds, I don't know if he was drunk, but for 90 seconds, he's saying nothing. And what do these clowns do? My God. Fucking Vince Russo and Coach with Tony Khan made 1,000 times more sense. And to be on the record, I liked the appearance. Tony Khan came off uber friendly. There was a lot of jealousy, obviously, for people that do not like Vince Russo at all. Tony Khan has made a concerted effort to extend a knowledge branch to haters over the years. And you get some people that will show him a little more respect, like Ariel Wani, and you get some other people that think they're going to marry him, that think suddenly they want to do business together. I like the appearance. It was obvious that Vince Russo and Coach wanted to be just as much the story as Tony Khan being on, but that's what the show is about. Tony Khan knew that he wasn't going on to be just interviewed. Tony Khan was going on there because Vince Russo would get a big rub off of it and Coach would get a rub. I liked the appearance, though. It was very friendly. It wasn't extremely polished. I love that they brought up the WWE sale, because that's something that Meltzer told the news world, do not bring it up. He won't answer that. And then they're like, nah, fuck that. We're going to bring it up. And Tony answered it the right way. Even on Dynasty Media Scrum yesterday, somebody asked Tony Khan about Ricochet's comment. And I thought Tony Khan was very professional in what he said. That's unacceptable. We had a conversation. We don't tolerate that, and now let's see where that goes. Because, other people are guilty of quite a bit of abuse online also. You look at Dax and a few others. They've been very abusive online to people. Just because you hate someone doesn't give you justification to try to drive someone not only off the net, but try to drive them into an insane asylum or into a deep depression. Because some wrestlers, especially in AEW, kind of have a fantasy online of driving certain people in the media world, including some of my friends, into a depression. And that is disturbing. So I'm kind of glad Ricochet made the comment, not because it was about MS or about that woman. That woman, regardless, did not deserve that. But Ricochet ruined it for everybody else. Because now this got so under the microscope to the point that Samantha Irvin was getting death threats over it. Now, any of these motherfuckers, like Dax or anyone else, that tries to drive someone off the net or drive them into a depression, people are immediately going to bring up Ricochet in the MS comment, and they're going to use that to bring it up to Tony Khan. It's the only reason why I'm kind of glad that Ricochet said what he said, because it's going to stop others from saying shit like that. Not about the insult itself. But I had to segue to that because the Pat McAfee and Cody stuff will make you want to slam your head into a window. See, you'll have fucking hematomas all over your head like Liv Morgan. So, all right, just to start bringing this home a little bit. SummerSlam. And again, I'm not trying to show disrespect, but you got to call things out sometimes with the obvious. And then I'll get into a couple of super chats that came in too, and then some of your questions will get out of here. On Location released some VIP packages for SummerSlam. And a lot of people pointed out today that last year SummerSlam in New Jersey for 2 nights was 40 grand. This year in Minneapolis, it's 25 grand. And that is fact. No disputing that whatsoever. But what a lot of people didn't do was do a little research about Minnesota. All right, Minnesota prices are a lot different than New Jersey and New York. And I did a little bit of research, so they didn't have to. The minimum wage in New Jersey is $16 an hour. In New York, it's $17 an hour. In Minnesota, it is $11.40 an hour. Okay, so when you try to compare VIP packages for Minnesota SummerSlam compared to Jersey SummerSlam, my strongest advice to all of you out there is go check out Taylor Swift's concert from 2023. I don't remember the name of the concert, but go seek it out. Taylor Swift 2023. Look at the ticket prices when she was in Minnesota, and look at the ticket prices in Jersey. And you'll understand why the prices are so different. To turn around and try to give the perception that TKO is starting to bring down prices to a more realistic level. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Asking someone to pay $25,000 for 2 tickets for SummerSlam weekend compared to 40, that's like turning around and saying, ooh, how do I not get myself into trouble for this one? That's like turning around and saying, I didn't kill the person last year. I just stabbed him. This year you say, I didn't stab him, but I hit him over the head with a baseball bat. You know, both are still awful and outrageously overpriced. But to turn around and say, you know, they're starting to bring it. I saw some schmuck, and if you Google it, his name will come up immediately. I saw some schmuck within 2 hours tonight go on TikTok and say, the reason why TKO lowered SummerSlam prices in Minnesota. And he talks about how the outrage with WrestleMania tickets. And I'm like, you moron. It has fucking nothing to do with that. The cost of living in Minnesota, the way revenue is handled in Minnesota is different from Jersey and New York. Jersey and New York is grossly more overpriced than anywhere else. The VIP packages are not being sold. You want to talk about regular ticket prices and the percentage is lower than the percentage difference between revenue in Minnesota compared to Jersey, then that's fine. But I saw people today, me like, TKO is finally getting the message. The fuck you talking about? What are you talking about? It's like Saudi Arabia. If you're going to turn around and say a VIP package in Minnesota is dramatically lower than Jersey, oh my God, wait till WrestleMania next year. When you're going to have some people say, I only paid $33 to get into WrestleMania, to sit third row. I only paid $37. You know, what do you think people are paying next year? I mean, I'm sure there's the highest price are going to be a couple $100, but to turn around and to say, well, you know, this year it's a lot less than last year and TKO is finally, what the fuck are you talking about? They're selling out these packages. So again, when you see that news the next couple of days, there's going to be some people out there with the catchy thumbnails and the articles, and the TikTok videos and the blogs talking about TKO is finally starting to listen to us. TKO, no, they're not listening to you. You're a clown. You don't buy tickets. You buy OnlyFans. You don't buy, you're not their audience. Their on location is not for you. Your on location is your basement or your bedroom. That's it. Your little fucking HD TV. Or you're streaming on your phone, watching on ESPN. You're not them. They're not dropping the price. Why? So you can be more satisfied at home? Just imagine the IWC noise subsides. We won. What are you talking about? We won. You're not buying the tickets. The other people are still buying it. I love the lovable losers who turn around and say, WWE's giving 30% off. I paid full price 3 months ago. I deserve a rebate. No, asshole. You fucking bought the tickets when they first came out because you needed it, wanted it, got to have it. You overpaid for it. I always compare it to McDonald's sauce. Does anybody remember when McDonald's put their fucking secret sauce on sale by the gallon? They were selling it for like $20 a bottle. People were paying $500 on eBay for a bottle of fucking sauce. What ended up happening? They put more bottles on sale. And then suddenly, I paid $500. Other people are only paying $30. I deserve it. No, clown. You're the Polak that spent $500 on a bottle of sauce because, look, everybody on TikTok, I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I'm pouring all over my body because I can do what I want with it. You're the moron that spent that money. That's why in business, you always start with the highest price, see how many people you could get to buy the tickets, and then you slowly bring it down. It's like Amazon. I brought it up yesterday. It's like Amazon. You go on Amazon right now, you'll see so many places that are selling things, and it'll say, limited price only, lightning deal. And you look at the price and like, holy shit, it's 30% off. And then when you do a little history, you learn that, wait a second, the price was this price 2 years ago. They raised the price 40%, and now they're reducing it 30%. And look, I got a big deal off of it. But still, the overall price is still much higher than what you originally was on sale for. You got to do your homework. So just because something is 30% off doesn't mean it's really 30% off. You raise the prices 60%. Wait, we could raise it 40%. But if we raise it 60% and then we drop it 30%, it looks like we gave it a big deal, but in actuality, we're only dropping it 10%. That's how business is. You put something on sale, you see how many people run to it. You look at back in the day with fucking Nintendos and iPhones and other stuff. You got people sleeping overnight on the street because I want to be the first to have it. And then what do? They throw it up on eBay. Do you remember when, was it Twitch or was it TikTok? It was TikTok. Remember recently, I think the app was going to be banned, and you had people selling phones on eBay for like $2,000 because the app was built in, because people thought they weren't going to allow new subscriptions. You had people going on eBay buying used phones for $2,000 just so they can have the app. One that ended up happening, the ban was lifted. And then you had all these people, I just paid $2,000 because I thought the app was going to be banned. You're the moron that fucking ran and bought it, and now you're stuck with it. That's what this happens with this world. Back in the day, we had Furbies, Tickle Me Elmos. You look at all this other shit. People would go and fucking kill people. I got my Furby. If eBay was around at that time, Furbies would have been $1,000. Cabbage Patch Kids. People would run. I'll give it to you for $80. I remember Paul Abdul. A lot of people have seen the pictures. Look, I got it right here. I finally fucking found the pictures. Here, I'll show everybody one picture very quickly. Look, this is the Paul Abdul concert that I always talked about, me sitting front row. I'll try to find a really good picture. Hold on. There's like one really good picture. Shit. Can't really find anything, but I'm going to just give me one more second. But I'll tell you my point with this. I took my ex-girlfriend to Paul Abdul. Can't really see it, but yeah, I'm sitting front row. There's some security schmuck right in front of me. All right. When I bought these tickets in 1990, I bought off a scalper. I paid like $250 a ticket. The face value was $40. But I paid $250 for it because I wanted to impress the girl I was dating at the time. So, hey, I got front row for Paul Abdul. I didn't realize Color Me Bad would fucking open up, and I have nightmares till this day. I want to sex you up. So I overpaid because I needed it, wanted it, had to take my ex at the time. She was a huge Paul Abdul fan. I wasn't. So people overpay because they want it more. And then as it gets closer, if the tickets are not sold, you bring the price down to a more realistic way. That's smart business. So you see the Summerslam stuff going around today, just look a little bit deeper because you're going to hear a lot of stupid noise that is totally unnecessary. All right, moving on. Couple other quick tidbits. Ludwig Kaiser finally issued the challenge to El Grande Americano for a mask versus mask match. Now, I've been saying for a while that I think it's going to happen in Triple Mania. I did a little research. Triple Mania Reja 3 last year, I think that's how you pronounce it, that took place in June. We're only in April, so I think that might be a little bit too far away. Triple Mania 33 last year didn't happen until August, so I don't think that's happening either. But Triple Mania Monterrey, 32, 31, and 30, 2024, 2023, and 2022, all three of those events happen in April. I have a feeling you're going to get AAA in Monterrey. That might be where this mask versus mask match happens. I don't think they're going to milk it until August. This feud is so hot right now. Plus, WWE wants to progress Chad Gable on the main roster without the mask. So I think this match is going to happen within the next 6 weeks. I think it's even going to be sooner than that. So expect that announcement to be done within the next week or two. I watched a little bit of AEW Dynasty today. I still have more to watch. What I've seen so far, I enjoyed. Really didn't have much issue with it. As I said yesterday, I was very happy to see that Camille made her return, and she's going to fight Willow Nightingale for the title, I think on Wednesday. Not certain if she's going to actually win the belt. That might be a little bit too soon, but it's nice that she finally made a return. Now we need to see Wardlow make his return, which I think is could happen soon. But Dynasty results from yesterday, and we almost nailed it. We got Jericho's match wrong, and we got Ospreay versus Moxley wrong. Everything else pretty much came about the way we expected it. Alex Windsor defeated Marina Shafir. Camille defeated Big Ann. See, Camille should have had the opening match, and because then they could have said Dynasty began with Big Ann. You get it? Big Ann? It began with Big Ann. I'm Big Ann. Dynasty began with Big Ann. I don't know. We somehow backed into that yesterday. Jack Perry retained the national title, defeating Mark Davis. Megan Bain and Lena Cross retained the women's tag titles over Hyan and Maya World. Young Bucks over Takeshita and Okada. And as we expected, the dissension between Okada and Takeshita was solidified because they'll be fighting for a championship in the near future. Ricochet over Jericho. Darby Allin defeated Andrade, so Darby Allin will be getting a title shot sooner than later. And a lot of people think that Darby Allin may actually win the belt sooner than later. FTR retained the tag titles, defeating Cage and Cope, Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. I did not realize the last time that Edge and Christian teamed up for a tag team title match was 2001. That's amazing. And I checked it out. It's actually correct. I mean, it's been over 20 years, almost 25 years since they've had, I think it was against, was it Undertaker? I don't remember who it was against. I don't think it was Rock and Sock, but it's been that long. It's pretty amazing. But as we said on Wednesday, Cage and Cope are not on TV enough to have a run with the tag titles. Plus, FTR, Adam Copeland, and Christian Cage, it is very deep and personal with them. If you do a little bit of research, you will hear interviews, especially from Dax Harwood from years ago, on how close they were with Adam Copeland especially. You will understand how deep that friendship goes. This is a match that they absolutely wanted to have. And I personally feel that the only reason why Copeland and Cage teamed up was because it was against FTR. It's pretty cool when you look it up. Kevin Knight won the vacant AEW TNT title that was vacated by Kyle Fletcher due to injury. Thekla retained the women's championship, defeating Jamie Hayter. Unfortunately, we have discussed the decline of Jamie Hayter, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. Moxley retained the Continental title over Ospreay. Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly defeated the Dogs. And MJF retained the World Championship over Kenny Omega. Very quickly, some ratings that are in for those that are interested. TNA Impact from Thursday rebounded to 257,000 viewers. That is up from the previous week's 200,000 when they went head-to-head with Collision. Dynamite from this past Wednesday did 654,000 viewers, even with Jericho's return, down from the previous week's 730. NXT for April 7th did 605,000 viewers, slightly up from the previous week's 572. So, we could talk about WrestleMania 42 odds, and we'll get into a couple of comments before we get into the odds. Actually, let's get into the odds first. Then we'll wrap up with some comments, and then we'll jet out of here. Do we have any other news tidbits? Other than I saw Stephen A. Smith revealed on ESPN today that Nick Khan offered him a role at WrestleMania 42 as a manager, and he turned it down, and he didn't want to get physically involved. So we almost had Stephen A. Smith involved with this. I don't know how that would have come off. I am a fan of Stephen A. Smith. I like his stuff. Not always on point with his political views, but I have a feeling that would have been a train wreck. I honestly think it would have been more of a train wreck. So, but let's get into WrestleMania odds, because I think some of these odds are pretty fascinating, especially when you realize how many title changes the odds are predicting. So I will tell you that the match placement that we talked about yesterday, my predictions of what matches go on first and last, we might run the table with it, especially when we found out today which match is going to open each night. So let's talk about night one first. So the opening match for WrestleMania night one, WrestleMania Saturday. Right now, the Usos and LA Knight are the heavy favorites to win at -900. And the Vision, along with IShowSpeed, are the underdogs at +500. This is one of the biggest favorites for the whole entire weekend. I think, that's pretty much expected. I don't know if that match is really a surprise. Some of the others, you might find a little bit of a surprise. Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. Right now, Drew McIntyre is the underdog at +375. Jacob Fatu is a heavy favorite at -650. Not as much of a favorite as the Usos and LA Knight, but still pretty damn impressive. As far as the women's tag titles, right now, the favorites to win, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria at -200. Next on the list, the Bellas, which even if Nikki performs, they ain't winning no tag titles. I don't see that. They're at +150. Nia Jax and Last Legend are next to retain at +350. And the big underdogs are Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair at +800. For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, wait, did we just go out of order? Oh, we did. That's fine. For the Women's Intercontinental Championship, I can back this up. There we go. All right. Right now, the favorite to win pretty substantially is Becky Lynch at -450. AJ Lee is the underdog to retain at +275. When you realize how many times AJ Lee has beaten Becky Lynch, that may not surprise people, but to me, I do find it a little bit interesting. Unless AJ Lee's run was only until a little bit after WrestleMania. I love the interviews. The reason why I'm back is because people chanted my name for 10 years and never forgot about me. Well, if you disappear in a month or two, it's like, oh, I guess you weren't permanently back or for the foreseeable future. I'm not saying that that's the case, but right now, that is pretty much the odds. So now we could go a little bit further. We have Gunther versus Seth Rollins. Right now, Gunther is the favorite to win at -550. Seth Rollins is the underdog at +325. In the match between Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan, right now, Liv Morgan is the favorite to win with a -450, and the underdog is Stephanie Vaquer to retain at +275. Then we get to the main event. The man that's going to save us, Randy Orton. Randy Orton with Pat McAfee in his corner will challenge Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Right now, the favorite to win, Randy Orton at -275. The underdog to retain is Cody Rhodes at +185. Those are your official betting odds for WrestleMania Night 1. We get to WrestleMania Night 2. Oba Femi will challenge Brock Lesnar. Right now, the odds-on favorite to win, Oba Femi at -300. Brock Lesnar is the underdog. How many times you've heard that before? Very few. Brock Lesnar is the underdog at plus 200. For the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match, it is Penta defending the title against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Rusev, JD McDonough, and Rey Mysterio. And right now, the odds-on favorite to win, let me put it this way. Rusev is the biggest underdog at plus 3,500. Rusev could have murdered people on Raw tonight. No one would have said, I think he's winning the title on Sunday. Rusev is the worst underdog at plus 3,300. If JD McDonough is laughing at Rusev, I wouldn't laugh too hard because you're at plus 2,200 right now. If Dragon Lee thinks it's fucking funny, Dragon Lee, I'd be more concerned about how people are high definitioning your face without the mask. Dragon Lee is a huge underdog at plus 2,000. Rey Mysterio is at plus 300. But right now, it is almost a toss-up between Javon Evans becoming the Intercontinental Champion. He is officially the favorite at minus 100. Penta is next in line to retain at plus 105. So right now, it's pretty much almost a toss-up between Penta and Javon Evans. Next, we have Trick Williams challenging Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. This is the match that I have said, thank you, Mello. Thank you for keeping the United States title warm, but we don't want you to wrestle at Mania. We'll give it to Sami Zayn. Let him lose the title to Trick Williams. Because right now, Trick Williams is the favorite to win at minus 475. Believe it or not, he might be the biggest favorite of the entire weekend for night 2. He's actually a bigger favorite to win than any other match for night 2. Trick Williams is at minus 475, and Sami Zayn right now is at plus 300 to retain. So that leaves us 3 matches. Even though I thought this would be the next to last match, but I honestly think they're going to go with Rhea versus Jade next to last because I think that should follow Dom and Finn instead, because you got to bring people down after Dom versus Finn, because just that emotion about the Demon returning, I think you have to bring people down before you bring them back up for CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. But right now in that match, Finn Balor is at plus 450 to win. And I'll be honest with you, I think those odds are ridiculously low. I think Finn should be a much bigger favorite to win, especially when we talk about the recent history of the Demon. You just retire the Demon if he loses. That's my honest take on it. Finn Balor is the favorite right now at minus 450. Dominic Mysterio is the underdog at plus 225. So that leaves us 2 matches. We got Rhea Ripley challenging Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley right now is the favorite to win at minus 350. Jade Cargill is the underdog at plus 225. And Ben is saying in the chat right now, why do people care about odds? Because you'd be shocked at how often these odds end up being correct. It's about 90 to 95%. So when you see these odds betting in the area that it's betting, it gives you a pretty good idea as far as what these outcomes could be. It is almost never that we get betting odds and see so many matches come out wrong. There's a lot of cards where the odds end up being exact. It's not always, but it does happen. So Rhea Ripley right now is the favorite to win at minus 350. Jade Cargill is the underdog to retain at plus 225. And then we have the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk defending the title against Roman Reigns. I will tell you that Randy Orton has a better chance as far as odds go of winning than this match. Because right now the favorite to win at minus 250 is Roman Reigns. CM Punk right now is the underdog to retain at plus 170. Not a toss-up, but enough separation between the two that Roman Reigns is a clear favorite to win. So those are the official betting odds right now. Of course, something could change. If the Kabuki Warriors replace the Bellas, the odds, I think, will be the similar. There's no way the Kabuki Warriors are going to win the tag titles after all of this. I think Iyo Sky interference would lead to the WrestleMania match. And listen, if they end up doing Iyo versus Asuka for night 2, I think Iyo will be clearly the odds-on favorite. I think Iyo would probably be at like minus 600 because after everything that's gone on in that storyline, Iyo has to come out on top against Asuka. It has to. Especially what they did tonight, having Kairi Sane getting the victory, to try to give that, that impression. And the only reason why Kairi Sane won was because of Asuka's interference. So Asuka, I could almost see it already. If Asuka takes on Iyo Sky, there'll be a moment where Asuka will want Kairi to attack Iyo, and Kairi may look, and the fans will be like, no, and Kairi Sane turns around and she won't do it. And Asuka will be irate and pissed off. And I don't know if Kairi Sane would actually assault Asuka because I don't want the Kabuki Warriors splitting because I think that would be the death knell for Kairi Sane because WWE's never showed me any confidence that they could push Kairi Sane as a single star. So, but you can have where Kairi puts Asuka in a place and Asuka kind of like cools off a little bit after Mania. I think that's probably where they're going to go with this. So, we shall see what happens. But, all right. We are at about 2:20, so we could bring this home in about 10 minutes. Definitely want to get into a couple other questions, if you don't mind. A couple of shout-outs as well. Let me just pull up my official questionnaire. Speedy, thank you very much. He says, CM Punk doesn't know of the frozen spoon trick. Listen, I am confused how a lot of this storyline has progressed. WWE Creative, they definitely put their hands in this, I think a little bit too much. The apology to Sika, again, my biggest problem of what we've seen is mind games. I don't care about family legacy. I don't care about royal family. I don't care about CM Punk's struggles. The struggles were 30 years ago. Nobody cares anymore. CM Punk is a made guy. CM Punk is a millionaire 10 times over. CM Punk is married. CM Punk, has had a very, very productive last bunch of years. Despite what transpired in AEW, CM Punk's return to AEW was fucking huge. It is awesome to have CM Punk back in wrestling. But everything about this storyline leading to the main event, it didn't do any favors tonight. I love the realism of it, but everything that CM Punk did for the last month leading to tonight gets flushed down the toilet because CM Punk, it was all about mind games. Roman, I'm in your head. Roman, I'm in your head. Roman, I'm in your head. Tonight, CM Punk removed a lot of that cloud in Roman's head. He apologized for Sika. He complimented Roman. He talked about jealousy, obviously, but CM Punk is the one on top right now. CM Punk is getting the WrestleMania match. Plus, need I remind everyone, last year, yes, Seth Rollins was also involved, and yes, the Paul Heyman dynamic was in there too. But if you watch a lot of the promo exchange a year ago between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, a lot of it is the same. In fact, yesterday I was going to do something a little devious. On yesterday's show, I was going to play a sound clip of CM Punk cutting a promo on Roman. I wasn't going to mention that the promo was from last year. But if you heard it, you would be convinced that promo took place over the last 3-4 weeks. It was almost identical. If I just edited out the Paul Heyman remark, it's the same stuff. I mean, I hate you, and same stuff. And now, at the very end, CM Punk shows respect. Sure, that gets him more over as the baby face. Interesting how, outside of a recap, the TKO aspect and everything else was not brought up at all today. I just didn't like what they did tonight. Again, I think it's setting up something bigger when we talk about predictions later this week, but I don't like that clearing of the air at the very end, because to me in storyline, that helps Roman Reigns big time. Danielson with the $4.99. Oba has big feel all over him. Not everyone gets to stand next to the boss WrestleMania season. This match has to deliver, and I think it will. And I think Brock is going to enjoy it big time. I will always appreciate what Brock did for, oh my God. Holy shit. I just drew a fucking nightmare. I just drew a fucking brain fart. Omos. I remember going into that WrestleMania, everybody was crapping on Brock versus Omos. That match is going to suck. Oh my God, the battle of the Oompa Loompa versus Brock. And not only did the match deliver, but we found out that Brock really wanted to work Omos. And, look, that interview that Brock Lesnar did very recently was awesome. Gave you a little part of Brock. I understand the Janelle Grant stuff and everything like that. Brock is definitely imperfect husband, and I would not want to be married to Brock and have all that stuff come out. I think he learned big time, and it must be embarrassing in front of his kids to see that. I think that's made him grow up a little bit more. But you see that it's not just, who do you want me to face? Let me just punch in, do whatever you want me to do, punch out and go home. I think Brock, if he wants to face someone particular, I think he will put 1,000% into this. I think Brock is going to make Oba look awesome. And I also think Oba is going to make Brock still look like he can still go, which he can. Oba does have that aura. Again, I'm still waiting for Goldberg. Goldberg is very quiet right now. Very fucking quiet. And that is definitely intentional, man. I'm very curious to hear Goldberg's first remarks. I mean, doesn't mean never mention Oba before, but especially the Oba chants and the reminiscent of Goldberg and just that physical aura about him. I'm waiting for, I think Goldberg is avoiding interviews because of that aspect. I'm very curious to see what he says. I think he would be very, very complimentary of Oba Femi. I don't think in any way, I remember that dumb interview he did a year ago, this girl in NXT, they made her beat my record. Like, he threw a lot of shade acting like he didn't know who Asuka was. I don't think he would go that route with Oba Femi. I think he's going to show a lot of respect. And I think he's going to say that Oba Femi is not doing anything to tarnish the legacy of Goldberg. He's not copying him. He's not trying to be him. I just hope he doesn't try to make it seem like WWE's trying to erase my legacy and building, their version of Goldberg. I think that's unfair. But he does have the aura, my friend. Theme parks and things with Johnny. This sounds like Disney's D23 membership club. He's a D23 member. It sounds a little bit like those tiers. It absolutely does. That club, WWE, sounds like a lot of what WWE already has. Like, you're paying a membership to be able to be first to order something that's going to be pre-sale 2 months in advance. I don't get that. If you're going to put something on sale that's only available for members, okay, if it's something really, really cool. But it almost feels like a YouTube channel membership Sign up and get 15% off merchandise. Get the exclusive this. It just kind of feels like any other club out there. What are you going to get? You're getting, put it this way, they're going to give an inside video. Oh, you're going to see this video before everyone. You know what's going to happen? The first schmuck that knows how to download a video is going to fucking upload and put it on social media. So, I mean, I don't, really, what are you going to get exclusive? I think the welcome bag probably is going to be the coolest thing about it. And honestly, I don't know what this membership's going to be, but if they give you a welcome bag to be a founding member, let me sign up, let me get my welcome bag, and I cancel your ass 2 weeks later. As soon as I get the tracking number for my welcome bag, I'm canceling my membership. Founding member, my ass. You know, I don't know. I'm not impressed. I want to see how much this price is. My prediction, $15 a month, $19 a month. I think that's, $10. I think $10 is a little steep. Put it this way. This club has got to be a little bit exclusive. $25 a month. You have 1 million people in Club WWE. Is it really exclusive? Not really. So, oh, trust me, if it's $50 a month, Benjamin, I don't need to be a founding member. You know what I'll do? I'll go on eBay and buy someone else's founding member sticker. I'll do that. So that's ridiculous. Joshua says he doesn't see Roman losing 3 Manias in a row. I kind of agree with you. I don't think people are really thinking about much as far as the previous Manias. But, Roman says he still has a lot in the tank. Roman says he's not retiring anytime soon. If he wins the championship, that means he's got to stick around a little bit more. It's not, let me go leave to go film another video game remake. Let me leave for a month or 6 weeks. Sure, the push to WrestleMania is on TV 5 of the last 6 weeks. Doesn't mean he has to be on TV 5 of the next 6 weeks. But if he wins the title, he's going to need to be on TV a hell of a lot more than he's been for the previous couple of years. It makes you wonder if TKO restructured his contract. I would not be surprised if we hear news in the future that TKO restructured his contract so he would be on TV a little bit more. Especially for Netflix. Remember, we're in year 2. Next year, you're already halfway into this first 5 years, and Netflix could pull out after 5 years. And if Netflix pulls out after 5 years, they don't wait until the last day of the fifth year. The 5th year. They will advise WWE months in advance, kind of like when Fox decided they weren't going to renew their deal or put in an offer. So WWE for the next 2 years, 2.5 years, really has to boost up WWE on Netflix. I don't know if they keep the audience that they have right now. I don't know if that's enough. WWE Unreal, that's obviously, a big focus right now. They may end up getting NXT in the near future, even though I don't think NXT would really be the decision maker here. They have a lot of overseas TV. These TV deals that they're inking in other countries where WWE's exclusively on Netflix is a very big deal. A very big deal. So I think for the next 2.5 years, WWE wants to get those other 5 years with Netflix. Once Netflix commits to the other 5 years, that's when you'll see WWE take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. And I'm not saying Roman will be a regular on TV for the next 2.5 years, but you definitely have to amp this up a little bit further. Not at the expense of USA Network. That's another thing. A lot of people think, they'll pull away from USA Network a little bit and put more on Netflix. No, they can't do that. So, all right. We're at 2.5 hours. Let's wrap this up in about 5 minutes or so. Theme parks and things with Johnny. He says that with D23, there are 3 tiers, but you buy for the year. It's not monthly. Wow, I didn't think of that. You know what? I think you nailed it. Club WWE has to be a yearly subscription. Why would anybody sign up for 1 month? Why would they give you a nice gift bag? Put it this way. If you sign up and they give you a gift bag, what if you cancel and sign up again 2 months later? Do I get another gift bag? It's a new subscription. I get another welcome bag. I could see that. No, you're right. $99.99 a year. I bet you it's $100 a year, and you get the year subscription, and you get exclusives, pre-sales, this and that, and you got it for a year. Yeah, I'm totally with you with that. Mark my words, my friends. WWE Club WWE is going to be a 1-year subscription. I think $99.99 is. I think that is. I don't want to say it's reasonable. I don't know if I would spend that. Like, really, what am I getting? Like, I'm going to get exclusive footage to a video that somebody's going to post on social media a half hour later anyway. I'm going to get, the offer to buy tickets that I'm not going to buy. I'm going to get exclusive access for John Cena merchandise, which let me put it this way. The Never Seen 17, I probably haven't bought one since it was, the Cena, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I bought a Cena merchandise. I have no interest in that. If you think about it, what actually am I getting? I honestly think I'm a founding member. Now, what happens 6 months from now? Are you still a founding member? What happens if you have 50,000 subscriptions by then? You're no longer a founding member. What are you, just a member? So I don't know. I think $100 a year. Because think about it, you're not getting much. You'll probably get like a video, not necessarily directed to you, but that they'll probably, Danhausen will probably do videos. Hey, Club WWE, how's everybody doing? You get the opportunity to buy this shirt. That hurts. Especially when it's 1:15 in the morning. Well, in a couple of weeks, we will know. And I'll be one of the first to know because I have the opportunity to be a founding member. So, Joshua doesn't think Roman losing the last 2 minutes. Yeah, he agrees with what Joshua said. Yeah, I think it's time for Roman to be on the winning side. Listen, if CM Punk drops the belt, I don't think his run has been bad. I think his run has been extremely well. Remember, it was under special circumstances because Seth Rollins got injured. Doesn't mean that Punk wasn't going to win the title anyway. A lot of people think it was going to be Seth and Roman for this year's WrestleMania, but I think CM Punk has done a damn good job. And I think this feud, up until the final 5 minutes of Raw tonight, I think this feud brought out the better of CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I think any other build would not have felt the same, because if it was Roman and Seth, I mean, how many times are you going to avoid Dean Ambrose's name? Like, how many times are you going to bring up the Shield? And the Shield is so, how many years ago, it kind of gets old quickly. You could bring up last year's WrestleMania, but again, I don't know if it would have worked. I'll be honest with you. I'm very interested in seeing this match. More importantly, the outcome. You kind of feel the Usos absolutely are going to get involved with this. But again, clearing the air and giving that clarity, I think closure is the best way I could close this episode out. CM Punk gave Roman Reigns closure. When you're playing mind games on someone, you want to fuck with their head where you're tormenting them. You want to drive the other person insane. It's kind of like what Oba Femi said. I could breed up Paul and he'll have physical cuts and scars. Those will heal. But emotional scars, they stay forever. And I've always said that if you're going to go after someone, don't get yourself arrested in assaulting someone. Don't beat someone up. Don't break their stuff. Don't take things away where you could get put in jail over it. No, you do what gangsters do. Now, I'm not talking about mafioso, because mafioso will take you out. But you do what any good gangster would do. You torment that son of a bitch. You fucking drive them into a penitentiary. You fucking make their life, not to the point where they off themselves, obviously. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about, somebody does you dirty, fucking, just put the thought in their head. Just put that thought in their head that just drives them nuts, and you never clear that. Like someone thinks that you're cheating on them when you're not, and they're just going batshit, going nuts. You cheat on me. Like if that person just pisses you off, never fucking clear that up. Just leave it alone. Let that person go to their grave. Like, didn't they? Like CM Punk giving Roman Reigns closure tonight was probably the worst part of this storyline. And when we get into predictions Wednesday, as of right now, I'm going with CM Punk to lose. But what happens afterwards? What happens with the Usos? What happens? Why did they reintroduce us, the MFTs, with the Usos tonight? I mean, is Tama Tonga now going to get moved to Raw? Are we going to get, somehow? Oh, my God. Just when you hear the rumors that the Bloodline was going to reunite, now you've put the fucking Solo Sikoa and motherfucking Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga and Mateo and the other freak on Raw. Why? I know they're only SmackDown, but the motherfucking draft is going to come up. I don't think they're doing a transfer window this year. But when they do the draft, it's like, oh, my God, you just reintroduced that relationship. No, I don't want more Bloodline. You can have the Usos interact with Roman, but I don't want to see Bloodline again. It was so good. Leave it. The way creative has been lately, and my God, you're missing Road Dogg yet? Look at SmackDown. Everybody thought Road Dogg was the cancer. And then you realize Road Dogg was probably part of the cure. Road Dogg leaves and just everything. I mean, unless maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you think Road Dogg, one day I got to hear Road Dogg talk about this, because it's just, I don't know what influx led to him deciding, that's it, I'm out of here. I don't know what broke him, but as time goes by more, and I don't think it's unreal. I don't think it's that video at all, because Road Dogg can handle the stupidity from that. But man, has SmackDown been awful lately. Awful. And you know what's sad about it? You do have people on SmackDown that are doing very well right now, and they're overshadowed by this shit. They're overshadowed by the other garbage. And that's totally unfair for the rest of that roster. So, okay, everybody. I am good at Jet. I will be back Wednesday night. Now, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a Wednesday night Dynamite. It's very possible, but we are going to do WrestleMania predictions. Will it be with Joey 924? I don't know. I have not heard from him as of yet. But as soon as I do, I will let everybody know. As far as this weekend goes, I don't think I'm doing a sit-down Sunday. Ain't no way that I'm going to be live streaming a watch-along while we're doing WrestleMania. I want to sit there and enjoy it as a fan like everyone else. So we may have to hold off on Sunday. Could I do a live recap afterwards? Sure. But you can have 10,000 recaps Sunday night. So I will let everybody know by the weekend. I just don't want to do it for the sake of doing it. We can talk about it Monday. Plus, if you remember last year, unfortunately, we lost Kev right before Mania. But if you remember our original plan, we were going to do like we did the year before. We were going to recap WrestleMania on Monday night. Why? Because the Raw after WrestleMania answered a few holes or questions that came out of WrestleMania itself. Sometimes waiting until Raw, some of those questions get answered, because there's going to be a lot of people Sunday night. I wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. I wonder what's going to happen on Raw. I wonder what's going to happen with this person. Do you think this could happen to this person? And if you just wait until Monday, a lot of that unknown is answered. So that's kind of why I like waiting until the night after. Plus, you get to think about it a little bit. You know, a lot of these other bigger podcasters out there, they do their show 3-4 days after something happens. You know, when you got 3-4 days to think about something and digest it, eat it, digest it, shit it out, eat it again, you know, you get 3-4 days of thinking, you know, yeah, something will be 10 times more polished. Not easy to come here 2 minutes after Raw goes off the air and do a full-blown show like this. I don't get time to think about it. So, you know, doing it the next day, I kind of lean to being a much better conversation. But we shall see. We shall see. Whatever ends up happening, it'll be live stream like we've done the last couple of weeks. I appreciate all of you that have joined me here on Monday night back on YouTube. Shout out to my friends on Discord. Still working out some kinks, you know, so we could keep that chat room going as well on Monday nights. But big difference when you got 35 people on a Discord chat and right now 733 on YouTube. So big difference, and we have to grow. I do want to tell you this in closing for some of you that don't know. Over the past 10 days, almost 1,000 episodes of the Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle show and the Minority Report have been re-upped. They're on Spotify, they're on iTunes, Amazon, Podbean, everywhere. The hosting company I've been dealing with for almost 20 years worked out a deal with me that they interject a few commercials during the streams, and that offsets a lot of the cost. Because honestly, it would be put it this way, you know, a lot of people out there put their shows out there and, you know, can do that. You know, when we go back to the early 2000s and you have thousands of shows to go online, all that bandwidth and all that storage costs money. And I can't upload them to YouTube yet. There's too much copyright issues with music from yesteryear. Our old intros had music on there that fucking the movie producer like, I dare you to put that on YouTube. So there'd be too much editing. But there's a lot of episodes back up. We still have another 1,300 or 1,400 that will be put up over the next month or two. But if anyone out there that wants to check out the old shows, here's the easiest way to do it. Wherever you access the shows, whatever the playlist is, there's 2 ways to listen. Most recent to oldest or oldest to newest. Just reverse the order, because what we're trying to do, and this is why it's taken so long, when the episodes are being re-upped, we're trying to post it in date order. So if you wanted April 1st, 2006 episode, you'll see it follow March of 2006, not yesterday, because that's what happened last week. A bunch of old episodes came up, which was great, but it buried all the current episodes because it wasn't in date order. We're trying to put it so when you look at the archive, everything is in date order. That's not easy to do. You literally have to tell every platform that, no, this should be between March 2026 and May 2006 and May 2006. So that's what we're working on. If you go on Patreon, everything is ad-free and the entire catalog is there. There's about, 5,000 episodes? Plus you have all the Patreon shows. You have Kev's Patreon shows, you know, that will never be made public. They're too private and too personal. But you sign up there, you can get everything now. Just DM me there for the password. I'll give you access to the vault and you could download for fucking weeks. But we are getting it back online for everyone. Once that's done in about 3 months, then I'll start playing around with YouTube. I have to set up a second YouTube channel and then up the episodes on the second channel and upload them to private. So hoping when YouTube flags episode after episode after episode because of music, that I can edit the music out of those shows. What I'm afraid of is that there'll be so many flagged shows that YouTube will just blow it up. The minute I hit send, there'll be 3,000 episodes on YouTube and YouTube will be like, are you fucking kidding me? They flag like 1,000 shows. I mean, they're not going to give me the chance to remove this. They'll be like, get the fuck out of here. Nice try, asshole. They'll just microwave my show. So that's why it's a lot difficult. I was trying to figure it out for channel members. I might be able to do it episode by episode, but that's a lot of episodes. So we're working on it. We're working on it. But I'm having fun. It's extra work, obviously. But I will tell you, I will be looking forward to the end of this year when we have no more history shows. That is hard. That is hard to keep the history shows going. But we've covered so many years already. Adding another year is not, make or break. So far, so good. But we're already in week 16. So we're a little less than a third of the year already over, which is amazing. Just think about it. Almost a third of 2026 is done. Crazy. So much love. Oh, yeah, no. The YouTube, I will not upload old episodes to this channel. That's just, I don't even want to say the S word, but that's channel S. It's similar to genocide. Just begins with a letter S. You know what I'm talking about. No, I would create a second channel and just hit upload and sit back and literally be like this. Oh, I got to see what happens here. And you literally see bing, 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 flag, 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 flag. And I think it's just to the point where it'll freeze and YouTube will be like, get the fuck out of here. What, you really thought we were going to allow you to edit? They just ban me. So no, it will not pop up on this channel. We'll create a new channel. And if we do get the opportunity to edit out all the audio, awesome. Awesome. We'll have the entire archive on YouTube by next year. So very cool. Very cool. Be well, everyone. Much love. Thank you for spending some of your Monday night with me. I'm going to get the show online. I don't know if I'm going to take a shower at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I definitely need to cool off. It is fucking hot in here right now. But yeah, we'll talk about everything later this week. Be well, everybody. Thank you. Have a good one.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks.